around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The USGA, R&A, along with the PGA Tour and DP World Tour, announced they've delayed the implementation of a new rule that would reduce the distance golf's longest hitters can achieve, move the golf rollback rule to 2030 rather than a phased implementation in 2028. With NBA free agency tipping off in 2 weeks, the Warriors are keeping a close eye on the LeBron James situation. If he doesn't wind up staying with the Lakers, Golden State remains interested and is ready to explore bringing him in, reports ESPN Warriors reporter Anthony Slater.
The Warriors are very open to it, and their motivations are simple. They need talent. They're soft on the wing right now with Jimmy Butler rehabbing a knee injury, Moses Moody rehabbing a knee injury. They have a recruitment of Steph Curry and Draymond Green are very friendly with LeBron. He played under Steve Kerr in the Olympics, so that is the pitch.
Warriors can still offer LeBron the full $15.1 million non-taxpayer mid-level exemption, which would be a major pay cut. League expectations, though, still point toward LeBron staying in L.A. Indiana's Caitlin Clark unveiled her signature first shoe, the Caitlin 1.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Brian Windhorst dropped his top 6 storylines that already are shaping the NBA offseason. I'll tell you which one intrigues me the most. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's ride!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. We'll skip hump day. We got a lot to do because LSU picked up 2 commitments here on Wednesday. So I want to dive right into this, but it is a hump day. So Lane Kiffin continues his absolute heater on the recruiting trail. It's kind of wild when you think about it. Just 2 weeks ago, LSU had 4 commitments. 4 commitments in the class of 2027. They're up to 13. They've more than tripled their class in 2 weeks. So June has been super productive for LSU. On Monday, 2 offensive linemen. On Tuesday, it was running back Trey Segarra. And now 2 more players here on Wednesday. Running back Trey Martin from Franklin Parish up in Winsboro. And the second elite edge rusher in the class in Chris Whitehead popping just about an hour ago or so. So let's take these one at a time. I want to start with Trey Martin because that's going to dovetail into something we've been talking about here for about a week. Brendan Lacey, 3-star, committed after his visit a couple of weeks ago. A day ago, Trey Segarra committed to LSU, top 150 prospect. And now Trey Martin has popped for LSU. I want to remind you that on Tuesday, here on the show, Shea Dixon from On 3 The Bengal Tiger was with us. And this is something he's talked about for a couple of weeks, but it was LSU's idea of taking 3 high school running backs in this class.
From speaking with the kids who are involved right now and those around them, they're being told by Kevin Smith, by Billy Glasscock, by Lane Kiffin, that there's a number that they want in the room next year. Now, whether that's made up of high school guys, if you sign 3 this cycle, or if it's made up of a blend, They want to get there. Well, they have a deep room right now, but I don't know what the future holds for those guys after that first wave. And I think in LSU's mind, hey, if we can find 3 guys at the high school level that we really like that each complement each other, let's be up front with them and say, hey, we're going to go this route. And if I'm these guys, I don't think I'm as quickly turned off by, 3 running backs in one class. Why would they do that? Well, it's just how you have to fill out a room. And in the era of high school and the portal, I'm a high school prospect. I kind of like knowing what I'm getting into more than leaving it up to Lane and whatever he wants to do in the portal.
I think it's so obvious that in this case, actions speak louder than words. LSU returned Harlem Berry. They paid him a high 6-figure number to come back this year. Caden Durham went in the portal. They convinced him to come back. They went and added 4 running backs via the portal. This staff, Lane Kiffin, Charlie Weiss, Kevin Smith, got to look at all of those guys over 15 practices in spring and went, Barry's pretty explosive. Dylan Jones is complete. Everybody else, giant question. They're not, I'll repeat this, they're not carrying 9 scholarship running backs in 2027. So you're adding 3 in this high school class. It's a safe assumption that in 27, you'll want Harlem Berry back, you'll want Dylan Jones back. Everybody else is a giant question mark. And at least 3 of those guys aren't coming back because the 3 coming in are going to replace 3 that are going out. Who are they? I don't know. But I can look and certainly say Racine Guillory, Rod Gainey, Stacey Gage, the 3 transfers that came in that did not make an impact, or Caden Durham. Among that group, you're probably going to see 3 exit via the portal. It's a safe assumption after this season. But Trey Martin is a guy you'd love to have, man. Like, let's focus on that, okay? We focus and talk a lot about Louisiana kids staying home. Trey Martin's a guy from Winsboro, Franklin Parish, who all throughout this process was thought to be an Alabama lean. Jaden Miles from Catholic in Baton Rouge was thought to be LSU. Martin was thought to be Alabama. Well, things change. Alabama ended up getting a couple of commits. Martin sort of redirected. Jaden Miles commits to Florida State. Martin's path to LSU is very clear. But just like we talked about a day ago with Trey Segarra, Trey Martin, you're talking about a top 200 prospect. The number 11 running back in the composite. He's a high 4-star. This is a guy who's not coming to LSU thinking, I'm going to sit 3 years and develop and wait my turn. Brennan Lacey, the 3-star, is that guy. Trey Martin is a guy who's going to expect to play when he gets to campus. So it's just very clear, man. You're going to return Harlem Berry very likely for his junior year in 2027. And you're bringing in 3 running backs. 2 that are elite guys, 1 that's a project guy. So Martin, Segarra, you'd expect those 2 guys to compete for playing time immediately in 2027 as freshman running backs. Well, just a few hours after Trey Martin commits, Chris Whitehead pops for LSU. Now, Whitehead is another elite-level edge rusher prospect. If you look at the Rivals industry ranking or the 24/7, no matter which way you look at it, he's elite. The 24/7 composite ranks him as the number 31 prospect in the country, a 5-star. Number 31 prospect, the 4th best edge rusher in the country. That's the 24/7 composite. The On3 composite ranks him as the number 53 prospect in America. So however you look at it, this is a 6'4.5", 230-pound elite long edge rusher who had offers from everybody. Now, he picked LSU over a smaller group of Ohio State, Virginia Tech, South Carolina. He's from Virginia, so some regional teams there. But he had offers from everybody. Bama, Auburn, Cal, Georgia, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Maryland, Miami, Michigan, NC State, Oklahoma, everybody. Everybody wanted him. One of those elite, long, freakish edge rushers. And what this continues to show us, as we've talked about over and over again, and you're seeing it, actions speak louder than words. You are seeing through their evidence what this staff is willing to commit resources to out of the high school ranks. And edge rusher is clearly one of those spots. Offensive line is not. They are not going to pay offensive linemen to come in as 18-year-olds and sit. Doesn't matter if you're a 5-star. They're looking for guys, if they're going to pay you, that are going to make an impact. So what are the positions that can make an impact as a freshman? Well, receivers, Easton Royal. Tight end, Ahmad Hudson, replacing Trey Green. Cornerback, if you needed one, but they'll have DJ Pickett and possibly PJ Woodland both back in 2027. Edge rusher. Defensive tackle. Think Deuce Gerald, Richard Anderson. Now, a year, Lamar, in this most recent cycle, Lamar Brown, Trenton Henderson, now KJ Green, Chris Whitehead. They're showing you their priority. If you're prioritizing positional value, where are they going to invest? Well, they went in the portal and paid for Prince Williman-Mielen. They went in the portal and paid for Jordan Ross. In the freshman class, they paid for Lamar Brown. They paid for Trenton Henderson. Now they're paying for Chris Whitehead. They're paying for KJ Green. They want edge rushers. They want edge rushers. And as I understand it, the way this staff looks at it analytically is they value edge rushers over corners. Because if you can pressure a quarterback, he's in college, he's less likely to make an accurate throw. So you don't need necessarily the elite level corner if you can pressure the quarterback who's going to make an off-balance, inaccurate throw. Doesn't mean you're not going to pay DJ Pickett. It just means you're not going to pay 5-star Josh Dobson, who might be your 4th or 5th best option. But you'll pay the edge rushers that are going to rotate, so you constantly have fresh elite guys at that position, and this is evidence of it. So they are building what is shaping up to be a terror off the edge. When you consider this year with Prince Williman-Mielen, Jordan Ross, you've added Lamar Brown, Trenton Henderson, and even if both Ross and Uman-Mielen leave after this season, you'll have back Lamar Brown, Trenton Henderson, Gabe Relaford coming off of injury, Chris Whitehead, KJ Green, both coming in 5 stars. Where are they consolidating their resources? It's pretty clear how much this staff puts a value on the edge rusher spot over pretty much any other spot defensively. Great to see Trey Martin, Chris Whitehead joining the LSU class of 2027. They're now up to 13 commits for 2027. Doesn't feel like they're done. All right, it's After Further Review. Show Up and Every Day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer, your Fighting Tigers of LSU. Summer's here, y'all. Hanging out by the pool, heading to the beach, maybe dinner with the family or hanging with your buddies at your favorite watering hole, or kicking back, cracking open a few ice-cold Bud Lights while watching the World Cup. Make sure you drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. By the way, you see all those, of course, Michelob Ultra is part of the Mockler family, the Anheuser-Busch family. That's the official beer of the World Cup. You see all the officially licensed World Cup logos all over the Mich Ultra cans and boxes and all that sort of stuff as well. Whatever you do, drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Okay, it's After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Man, we got a ton to do today, and glad that you're hanging out with us. We do have a lot of LSU football we'll dive into. LSU Baseball landed another commit. Lane Kiffin was a guest on Tyrann Matthews' podcast. We'll dive into some of that conversation. Trey Segarra set to join us in hour number 3. Ross Jackson next hour. So we are locked, loaded, chock full with a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR.
AFR.
We're brought to you by the Watermark in the Renaissance. Watermark Downtown, Renaissance Southtown. Love telling you about both amazing properties. Remember, Watermark Baton Rouge is Baton Rouge's premier hotel property. It's not my opinion. Best of 225 goes out every year. You all voted Watermark Baton Rouge as the best hotel in the best of 225. Watermark Baton Rouge. If you've never been, man, highly, highly, highly recommend going to check out Watermark Baton Rouge for any number of reasons. You want a little staycation this summer? Great. Pop into downtown Baton Rouge, spend a night or a couple of nights at Watermark Baton Rouge. Everything in downtown's walkable. The restaurants, the bars on 3rd Street, the historical sites, Capitol, Old State Capitol, the Kid, all of it. It's right there in downtown Baton Rouge. Maybe you just want to have dinner or a business lunch or Sunday brunch. The Gregory inside of Watermark Baton Rouge is always a great option and always free valet parking when you eat at the Gregory. It's right there downtown at Watermark Baton Rouge.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the off season. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Additions that we're signing: Jalen Moreno-Cropper, receiver. He was with the Cowboys. He was in the UFL. He played at Fresno State. Hunter Deckers, quarterback, was in the UFL. Obviously, we had Hunter last year. And then Tanner Brown, kicker. He was in the UFL with the Kings. He played at Okie State, so we signed him. We had, and then obviously Cam Jordan.
How about that? 3 additions for Kellen Moore and the Saints to announce here on Wednesday, the second day of mandatory minicamp. It's interesting also, remember, today's the second day of mandatory minicamp. After mandatory minicamp, the Saints go on a hiatus until July when they're here for training camp. So you got about a month to sort of chillax. So interesting that this is the moment when they decide to do this. Just very quickly to run through those. Tanner Brown, the place kicker, was the UFL Special Teams Player of the Year. Now, I have a soft place in the subcockles of my heart for Charlie Smith, who came on AFR at the Super Bowl in Radio Row. Now, a year ago at Radio Row in New Orleans, Blake Grupe came on AFR. So maybe not a great omen if you're a kicker on AFR. Grupe comes on the show. As all we talk about AFR karma, Grupe came on the show, then got axed Charlie Smith comes on the show, we're going to find out. I mean, might be Charlie cut me. We're going to find out. I mean, so Tanner Brown's coming in. Listen, that's life in the NFL. Mike D had a great line. He would say it all the time. Mike Detillier, who came on the show for every Thursday for a decade. So he decided to go get his own radio show and couldn't come on anymore. Mike D, quit your radio show and come back on with us. Do it for the kids, Mike. But Mike would say all the time, you're getting better, you're getting worse. You're never staying the same in the NFL. So you always have to be looking at options and opportunities to get better. And so you can like Charlie Smith, but here's the UFL Special Teams Player of the Year. What if Tanner Brown comes in and beats Charlie Smith for the job? If that's the case, great. You got better. Hunter Deckers is interesting for one very obvious reason, of course. Hunter Deckers was with the Saints a year ago, but he was a quarterback at Iowa State, if you don't recall, whose college career ended because he bet on sports. And so he was ineligible to continue his college career in the NCAA. Went and played JUCO or NAIA, whatever it was. And then had an opportunity as a free agent, signed with the Saints, was with the Saints for a part of last year. And now is back, very likely as nothing more than a camp arm. Remember, the Saints have added Zach Wilson. You still got Spencer Rattler hanging around. So Deckers is the fourth. He's a camp arm, and likely nothing more than that, unless the Saints do manage to execute a trade for Spencer Rattler, which I don't know that necessarily really feels likely in any way. They like Spencer Rattler, and is a guy who seems like he's going to stick around in New Orleans, at least for the immediate short term, unless someone's willing to give up an asset for him. Maybe an injury or something in camp could force their hand there. And then wide receiver Jalen Moreno-Cropper is the other. He played for Houston during the UFL season this past year. So, and also played in 3 games for the Dallas Cowboys a season ago. So some depth at wide receiver and some competition. So just a few to watch and worth keeping an eye on. And also worth mentioning at place kicker. Remember, the Saints added Mason Shipley as a UDFA. And Mason Shipley came on AFR after he signed with New Orleans. That's another guy who they're bringing in for competition. So as good a story as Charlie Smith is, strong-legged and his first game, you hit against Carolina, a big-time kick, game winner against Carolina. He's 24 years old. As optimistic as we are, as good a story as he is, Saints are looking for opportunities to get better. If they can find it, they will. So that's sort of the news. The reaction part today was that Kellen Moore when he met with reporters. This was his first opportunity to talk about Cam Jordan's addition after Cam signed a day ago. So Kellen has had pre-practice media availability. The Cam announcement and press conference came after Kellen's media availability on Tuesday. So Kellen was asked kind of point blank what having Cam back means to him this year.
Yeah, excitement. Obviously, guys in his situation have to go through a process during the off seasons to make the decisions that are best for them. And obviously, we feel fortunate and excited that the opportunity presented itself, and it was the right alignment as far as getting them back. And I'm excited.
Okay, Kellen Moore continues to be the most boring soundbite in football. So, sounds super pumped. Let's talk specifics about Cam's role, especially, remember, we talked about this a day ago, and we all wax poetic. I'm in that number. You are as well. Everyone is excited that Cam is back. He's going to finish his career in New Orleans. He's going to go in the Ring of Honor. He's going to go in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's going to play for one team his whole career, and that's awesome. And hopefully, in what is very likely his final season in the NFL, he has another productive season. They get back to the playoffs for the first time since the COVID year. Drew's last season in the NFL. That'd be awesome. What about snap count? When the Saints announced they're re-signing Cam, we kind of went through this a day ago. The last 2 seasons, Cam Jordan's snap count has been in the 500s, when he was routinely double that number, meaning Cam has basically been playing 50% of the defensive snaps the last 2 years. He's a rotational piece. That's what he has become at this point in his career. So Kellen Moore was asked if that snap count is expected to be the same as last season.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely be part of that rotation. I think to our advantage as a football team, we have added some depth in that group. That's going to be a benefit for us. And so what those numbers look like, hey, they're all going to contribute. They're all going to contribute, and that's an important aspect of this thing. And because of the versatility of these guys, I think you're going to be able to utilize more than just two of them at times when you want to in some third down situations, which is a positive thing for us. And Cam will continue to, carry a very valuable role with that.
We had Mike Triplett here a day ago, and Mike said it well and probably best. When you look at Chase Young, Carl Granderson, adding Tyree Wilson, Anthony Jennings, and now re-signing Cam, that's 5. Now, knock on for Micah, you don't want an injury, but an injury could rectify that. But aside from that, and you add Chris Rumpf to the mix as well, a little bit of an undersized, more of a 3-4 outside linebacker. All 6 of those guys aren't making the team. They're not all going to be on the active roster. So someone among that group isn't going to make this team. So Kellen was asked about Anthony Jennings, and the guy that was a top 10 pick in the draft, didn't have a great start to his career in Las Vegas with the Raiders, draft day trade to New Orleans, and sort of what stands out about Jennings.
Yeah, I think obviously strength, stoutness, physical play. I think he's got a really high IQ. You can tell he just processes the game in a very easy manner. I think what's cool is watching him just hop in there and try and find every opportunity he can to help this team. I think the special teams component is kind of cool. Talked about that with Tyree yesterday. These guys are just trying to find roles and find opportunities, which is great. And, he's played a whole bunch of games for a reason because he's a really consistent physical football player.
I love that. And that's probably the way Anthony Jennings and Tyree Wilson make this team. You have 2 young players. Jennings is 28 years, both guys in their 20s. Jennings is 28 years old. 2 guys that, despite their productivity already in the NFL, are both willing to play special teams and do whatever they have to do. Listen, Jennings came into the league in 2020. So now he missed the 21 season. So this is 7 years in the NFL, but this will be his 6th season because he missed 2021, but with injury. But this guy's played in 75 games already in his career, going into year 7 out in the NFL, 28 years old, and still willing to commit himself to special teams. You wonder if those are going to be the differentiators. I also look just at size and skill set, whereas when you look at Chase Young and Granderson and Cam Jordan, bigger 3-4 ends, Anthony Jennings is 6'2", 255, similar to Chris Rumpf. I kind of look at Jennings and Rumpf in that category and go, you're probably only keeping one of those guys. And Jennings' willingness to play special teams and the skins on the wall he has may very well give him a leg up. So keep an eye on that battle whenever training camp sort of gets underway. The one more from Kellen Moore about that edge rusher position. And he talked at length about Chase Young and the improvement that Chase Young has made. And it's sort of cliche to say, he gets better every day, but it's what Kellen Moore said. But it's true about Chase Young as a guy who came into the league as the number 2 overall pick, was the defensive rookie of the year, suffered an injury, bounced around, went to San Fran, came to the Saints, and last year had a double-digit sack season despite missing the first 5 games. Well, the question we all have is, what do you do for an encore?
Feel great about Chase. Feel like he's gotten better from my exposure being with him for the last year and a half now. Just the growth he's taken and just the preparation, the work ethic that he's shown through the offseason is really impressive. Like, this guy loves to work. He loves to work really hard. I think he's gotten better. You can see as the season went on, he just kept getting better. And I think this offseason has been a good indication of where he's going. The leadership that he's provided, the energy he provides, certainly. But he's just, he's looking like he's getting better each and every day.
By the way, Chase Young just made 27 years old in April. Remember, we were talking about Jennings, who's already 28. And they were the same draft class, by the way, in the COVID year. But Chase Young just turned 27 in April. So you're talking about a guy who is healthy. After the really disappointing 22 season in Washington where he played in just 3 games. He bounced back in 23, both in Washington and San Francisco, played in 16 games, played all 17 games his first year in New Orleans, and then last year played in a dozen games, missed the first 5 games with the calf strain, but after that played the rest of the season and had double-digit sacks. So can Chase Young stay healthy for 17 games and produce at the rate he has? If he can, then you're talking about a guy that should push between 15 and 20 sacks and is going to be in the running for All-Pro honors, if that's the case. So can he continue to improve? It's going to be fascinating to watch this Brandon Staley defense year 2, which, last season was very good against the pass, not as good against the run, 9th in total defense a season ago, which is a little surprising to say it. But can you build upon the progress you made a year ago here in year 2 with Staley? You've lost a couple of guys, right? I mean, you lose Alontae Taylor, you lose DeMario Davis, but you've added some guys. We talked about Tyree Wilson, Cam Jordan's coming back. You're getting help at safety. You're moving Yonasenko to the star, so there's some shifts there. But can you get better year over year? And if that's the case, and you get better offensively year 2 under Tyler Shuck, I kind of get it. Again, I'm not pounding the table here today telling you I think the Saints are a contender. What I am telling you is I think the Saints improving both offensively and defensively can get into that 8-9 win range against this schedule. And if they do that, 8 wins won the division a year ago. You get to 9, I think that wins you your division this year. It gets you back in the playoffs. I think it's a very attainable goal for these New Orleans Saints. All right, training camp will get started underway in late July, and when it does, we'll be covering it right here on AFR. Hey, we're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. Man, I love telling you about Arco Power Systems. I don't know if you've kept an eye on the weather, but we're expecting like a tropical event tonight in the overnight hours here in the Baton Rouge area and parts of South Louisiana. I know I've said it before. It bears repeating. When the storm's in the Gulf, it's too late to plan for a power outage. We think about it for our home. We get that home standby generator, but what about for your business? That's what Arco does. These are Generac industrial standby generators. For your office, industrial, commercial facility, it's Arco Power Systems. Everything's turnkey, great customer service, and it's obviously the security of the Generac brand. It's critical backup energy solutions for the industrial sector. No matter what type of business or commercial or industrial facility you have, if you need standby generator power for your business, you need Arco Power Systems. ARCCO. Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. We're going to knock out a quick break, come back. We will go around the SEC as we continue. Taylor Calandro here in about 15 minutes from right now for Bourbon Dictionary. Let's get your booze questions in. Lane Kiffin was a guest on Tyrann Mathieu's podcast. We'll hit some of the highlights of that in about 30 minutes from right now. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
I've told you for years my experience working with Darren James. Let Jacques Juge, an AFR listener and Darren James customer, explain his experience with DJ.
So I had my house up for sale by owner for about a month. I listed it with a realtor, going on roughly a year, and I decided to give Darren a call. He told me he would run analysis and give me some feedback by the end of the night, which was a Friday night. I just told him, no hurry, just wait till next week. Don't take time away from his family. But before the end of the night, I had a text message from Darren with a 15-minute video explaining everything that he's seen on my property and what way he could go about with selling the home. So I got rid of the realtor I had, got Darren. Man, within a month, we had an offer on the table, and we just closed last Thursday.
Don't waste time. If you need to sell your home, call the best. Call Darren James. Agent225.com.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Championships are won with preparation, and so are great roofs.
Coach is tough on us about preparation, and Paris brings that same championship mindset.
Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing.
ParishGroup.com.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Coverage for less money. That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. LAinsurance.net. 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 That's Insurance Network of Louisiana. They're the best. They're going to shop to find you better coverage on your home, your auto, and I specifically want to hammer today business owners. Whatever type of business insurance you may be carrying, keep in mind when you look at your balance sheet and you look at that line item for your insurance, doesn't matter what you are. By the way, they crush it for restaurants. If you're a restaurant and haven't searched or had anyone shop for insurance coverage for you lately, chances are you're overpaying. Call Insurance Network of Louisiana. Let them shop to see if they can get you better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450, 293-0450, or LAinsurance.net, LAinsurance.net.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Hump Day AFR. Always appreciate our friends over at Insurance Network of Louisiana. Thanks for hanging out with us here. Excuse me. I just told you about Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I was over at Goodwood yesterday. Man, I was picking up my my vial of BPC 157. That has been. I don't mean to be hyperbolic, y'all, and I don't love hyperbole. That has been life-changing for me, man. If you deal with pain, injury, maybe you're having surgery, BPC 157 is a peptide. It's a pentadecapeptide. It's 15 different strains of amino acids, and it's designed to help with tissue repair, muscle recovery. So, like, if you've had surgery, man, get a vial of BPC 157, inject it in that surgical site. It will accelerate recovery. I do a tiny injection in my lower back every day, and it has been transformative. They got it at Goodwood, one of the dozens of peptides they have, in addition to ED, hormone replacement therapy, all the things they can do to help make you feel your best. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. All right, it's after further review. We are glad to have you hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR. Lane Kiffin was a guest on Tyrann Mathieu's podcast earlier today, and we're going to go deep dive into this here at the top of the hour. But one of the things is we started the show today. We told you about the two commitments that LSU has added. The running back, Trey Martin, out of Franklin Parish, and then the Chris Whitehead, the elite edge rusher commitment that LSU's added here. So that's two now top 50 overall prospects that are edge rushers. And we have talked, man, ad nauseum here on AFR, on my Locked On LSU podcast, about the way that they are approaching high school recruiting and just how it's changed now with the transfer portal. And that's one of the things they led off with. with Tyron in this podcast.
Still, you want to build your core team through high school, especially when you're at a place like LSU and you can get the great players. And so you build it the old-fashioned way, and then you supplement through the portal. You don't want to not do any portal because you don't miss on those guys near as much. So follow this. In the NFL, they miss all the time, right? First round.
Right.
And they have all that resources to evaluate them. They have all the college games, and you still miss. So we certainly know that we miss a lot in high school recruits over the years. Well, in the portal, you're going to miss less because now you've seen them in college games. You've seen them maybe if you're taking SEC guys, so you miss less. So you do still want some portal guys because normally those guys are pretty sure bets for the most part, like they're going to be what you see, where high school, there's still so many variables.
It's so interesting because of the way he started. Can you just play the very beginning of that cut again, Muse, please?
Still, you want to build your core team through high school, especially when you're
like, I just don't know that I believe that's true. I mean, LSU signed 40 portal guys last year. Now, I don't think, again, they're going to go sign 40 again this year. But I think what they're doing in building their foundation is getting portal guys who will come and wait. Instead of getting an 18-year-old, they're more likely to go. And I've given you a lot of the same examples, but look at guys like William Satterwhite from Tennessee, Darren Stray, an offensive lineman from Kentucky. Look at all the receivers. A guy like Tyree Holloway coming in from West Florida. I just mentioned all the running backs. You brought in 4 running backs, all with multiple years of eligibility. All the guys, the offensive line, Jacoby Jones, all the guys that they've brought in. It's guys that aren't necessarily one-year mercenaries like a year ago with LSU's football portal class. You have those guys. Look, Jordan Seaton's a mercenary. Prince William Mielon's a mercenary. He's a one-year guy. You paid top dollar, elite-level player, but you're only going to get a few of those. Ty Benefield, one-year guys. The majority of what they added, their 42 portal additions, are guys with multiple years of eligibility that are going to build the foundation of the class. That may change over time. We'll see. But it's fascinating anytime we have the opportunity to listen to Lane Kiffin talk about how he wants to build his roster. So really interesting there. We're going to dive more into this again in about 20 minutes or so. Kiffin sat down on the In the Bayou podcast with Tyrann Mathieu. We'll dive into a lot of that throughout the rest of the show. Taylor Calandro is coming up here in less than 10 minutes from right now. We'll do a little Bourbon Dictionary, get your booze questions in. All right, right now, let's do it. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference. The Arkansas Razorbacks.
Hogs added an elite infielder, Ben Cleary from Santa Clara. He's picked the Hogs. He was second team All West Coast Conference this season, had a .952 fielding percentage. 9 errors, not so great. 9th commit for Arkansas's portal class.
The Florida Gators.
All-American Trey Morris has committed to Florida. He's an Oregon State lefty. That's one of the guys, man, you would have loved to have had if you're LSU. 3rd top 50 portal commitment for the Gators. Morris is first team All-American by the Baseball Writers Association and Perfect Game. Led the nation with a .83 whip.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Freshman All-American Josiah Overbeek has picked Mississippi State. 45 starts this year, 15 out of the bullpen for 45 out of the bullpen for Army. So he's going from Army to Mississippi State, excuse me. Impressive production on the mound. 5.57 ERA in addition to what he did at the plate, hitting .314 with 17 homers.
The Oklahoma Sooners.
GM Jim Nagy has gotten a new multi-million-dollar contract from the OU Board of Regents. Wild to think, man. Sitting there all those years at SEC football media days with Jim Nagy talking with us about the Senior Bowl. Now he's $1 million a year GM for Oklahoma football. And look, I mean, they made the college football playoff in his first year there in the front office. Jim Nagy, contract extension, averaging, it's a 4-year deal at $4.6 million over the 4 years.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
3-star defensive lineman Antoine McCoy has picked Georgia. He is a top 50 defensive lineman, the 16th best player out of the state of North Carolina, committed to Georgia over South Carolina, NC State, Miami, and Virginia Tech.
The South Carolina Gamecocks.
And 3-star offensive lineman Clayton Lee has picked South Carolina. He's out of Florida. He took an official visit to the Gamecocks this past weekend and committed over offers from Virginia Tech, Central Florida, and NC State. 6'7", 305, the 64th best offensive tackle in the country, the 9th commit for Shane Beamer's Gamecocks. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC. We are brought to you by Supper Club. Y'all, it's a hump day. Don't go home after work. Man, why would you do that? Don't go home after work. Call your wife. Call your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whoever it is. Business partner, doesn't matter. Say, hey, meet me at Supper Club. Don't have a reservation, no big deal. Open seating at the bar every day, even on weekends. 14 bar stools, 7 bar tables. You can always just pop on in, eat a meal at the bar. I've done that before. 6 weeks ago or so, I was at a fundraiser with Erica. After the fundraiser ended, we weren't really trying to do the pick at the little sort of the heavy hors d'oeuvres. So we went to the fundraiser and we're looking for a meal. And so we left, went to Supper Club, and we sat at the bar. I ordered a steak. She had her whatever delicious cocktail on the menu, summary cocktail that she likes to drink out of whiskey. And you can always go for a great experience at Supper Club where you're sitting at the bar, you're celebrating something, have a great semicircular booth. There's also the private dining room there at Supper Club. Call in advance, you can reserve it. We did that for my birthday a few years ago. Me, Eric, our extended families, they had about 15 people in the private dining room. It was awesome. Way to go celebrate a birthday, a graduation, an anniversary, any occasion. Make sure you do it at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com for your reservation. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Taylor Calandro, get your booze questions in for Bourbon Dictionary. We'll revisit some of what Lane Kiffin had to say on the Tyrann Mathieu podcast. Also, the baseball Tigers have added a pitching commitment. We'll get to that here in about 30 minutes from right now. Ross Jackson next hour was at Saints mandatory minicamp the last 2 days. We'll get his takeaway, so really looking forward to that. Oh, and LSU running back commit Trey Segarra coming up in hour 3. Like I said, we are locked, loaded, ton to do, and glad you're here. Stick around. It's AFR.
After Further Review.
Major congratulations to our friends at Duplessis Builders, who we found out over the weekend, yet again, by Pool and Spa Magazine, named a top 50 pool builder in America. Now, we're going to wait and see what the exact ranking is. A year ago, there were 26 in the country. But again, for the second consecutive year, Duplessis Builders named a top 50 pool builder in America. My cousin has a story that I'm sure many of you can relate to if you've ever built a pool. At 2 different houses, he's hired a pool builder to build a pool, and it was a miserable experience. And it's very invasive. I mean, they're digging a giant hole in your yard. It rains. It can be delayed. There's a lot of reasons why building a pool and putting in a pool is not an enjoyable experience. It is very invasive. And so many people have that horror story to tell. With Duplessis, the reason they continue winning these awards is because not only will they build you a beautiful pool that lasts, they give exceptional customer service as well. DuplessisPools.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the things you love. That's why I trust Dr. Kevin McCarthy and the team at the Spine Center of Louisiana. Dr. McCarthy doesn't just treat symptoms. He gets to the root of the problem. From advanced injection therapy to minimally invasive surgery, they've got the expertise to get you back in the game. With 5 locations across Louisiana, including right here in Baton Rouge, quality care is close to home. Call the Spine Center of Louisiana or visit spinecenterla.com.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com. They're the gang with the slang.
Keep it 100. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
I don't understand.
Yo, dude, what up?
Not much, man. What's happening?
Another day, another dollar, dog. What's good, man? What's 4th of July's coming up? What's new?
We got a new little heater. Sorry, Croatia just scored a goal. Sorry, I got suddenly sidetracked.
Oh my God! All right.
Old Fitz, 7-year bottled in bond. So, like the past few years, we've been getting the Old Fitzgerald, the big bottles, like the 11-year, the ones they do in the spring. In
raffle bottles.
Yeah. And they're still super limited. And those are generally like, I think they're 11-year. I can't remember I think they're a little different from release to release. But they do those in the spring and the fall. This is supposed to be a year-round deal. They're hard to find right now, but eventually I think they'll be a little easier. But it's only $60. It's really good, and it comes in a nice looking bottle too. It's not like a cool decanter like the high end stuff comes in, but it's still a nice looking bottle for a $60 bourbon. It's really good.
How old is it?
7 years, $60. It's fairly young. But it's nice. I tried some a week or two ago. It's a nice pour. It's not super expensive either.
You know what, man? I'll tell you, Taylor. I've been fortunate enough to try, as have you, right? But I've tried a lot of the Old Fitz, and for me, I've done a taste test of a flight, and I prefer. I was in New Orleans at help me. What's the hotel on St. Charles? The old hotel. It's got
Pontchartrain.
Pontchartrain. What's the hotel? At Jack Rose.
Jack Rose, and then Hot 10 upstairs.
So it wasn't Hot 10, but the bar in the front had a bunch of Old Fitz. So I did a flight of them, and the 9-year, in my opinion, was better than the 11, the 13, all the older ones. And I have a bottle of the 8-year at my house, so I'm not scared of that 7-year. I think that may actually be pretty awesome.
It's really good. Have you had Larceny Barrel Proof?
Yeah, of course.
So it's the same mash bill as Larceny.
Okay.
It's similar age, but Larceny Barrel Proof runs like 125, 130 proof, and this is sitting at 100. So it's a little less heat, and it's nice. It's a nice, approachable little whiskey. It's not going to blow you away, but for $60, it's a really good little sipper.
Shout out Alex Abair, who said, Matt, the 7-year Fitz is so good. By the way, he also sent me a photo of his 4-pack of Saints and Sinners. That's the St. Arnold
beer we talked about last week.
The collab you talked about with Parrish last week. That's awesome.
Speaking of, they're doing a pint night over at Pelican to Mars, that little bar on Government Street, right by the studio too, actually. A little pint night for that for the 2 beers from Paris tonight.
Interesting you said that. I was literally I had to go to Lafayette today and drove back, and Chris Marler went with me, and he mentioned he was watching like the soccer match, the Team USA I never knew that place was in existence.
So it's in the bars?
Yeah, so second time in 3 hours someone's mentioned that place. You may never heard of it before.
Yeah, I actually think they're doing a bunch for the World Cup over there. I've never been, man. I'm old like you, so.
I know. I'm older than you, dog. I'm 10 years older than you, man.
Well, right. But I'm still old. I'm 37 years old. And I have 3 young kids. I'm not hanging out at the bars. I'm not really in the scene, you know. So
I'll be 44 in a few weeks.
I don't even know how you can continue onward.
I feel awesome, bro. Hey, real quick, Greg Lehman asked Taylor, there's a lot of buzz about younger generations not drinking nearly as much. Are you observing a similar trend in alcohol consumption and sales?
Yes, absolutely, 110%. The younger generation is weird.
Weirdos. Start drinking, weirdos. Muse, you weirdo. Why aren't you drinking, you weirdo?
that doesn't count for me.
They're really into health and
weirdos.
And like taking care of themselves, I guess, and finding other avenues to get to where they'd like to be.
I got 5 seconds. I gotta go. We'll see.
See you, man.
Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Y'all have a great day over there.
After further review.
Weirdos. We're brought to you by South Point Volkswagen. You want to take care of yourself in your car? Drive a Volkswagen. That's what you do. You want to know why? Because if you get in a wreck, you're driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. Love telling you about Volkswagen every single day. Airline just north of Highland, southpointvw.com. Remember, if you're in Lafayette, Southwest Volkswagen, same ownership group, but South Point Volkswagen here in Baton Rouge is Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. So even if you live outside of Baton Rouge and you're listening, you're interested in a Volkswagen, it is really worth shopping the website because, like, what if they can give you a better deal? Like, they move more volume, meaning they got more selection and better pricing. So if they can give you a better deal, is it worth maybe popping over to BR, Airline just north of Highland, to go get your vehicle? Sure it is. It's at South Point Volkswagen, Louisiana's largest volume Volkswagen dealer. Airline just north of Highland, or online at southpointvw.com. Southpointvw.com. South Point Volkswagen, what's your direction?
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Another roof gone too soon. Looks like neglect. There's no doubt about it. This is a case of poor installation. At Pelican Roofing, we don't guess. We investigate to find the real cause of your roof's problems. Call Pelican Roofing for your free roof investigation today. Case closed.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning, and I usually leave somewhere around 5, or if customers need me to meet them at their house or their business places, I don't mind going after hours. I have done churches, subdivisions, retail centers, hospitals, and nursing homes. And that's why we chose to live in this community, because of the values First American Bank has, that I can serve my community and my customers.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1980.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. At the World Cup, Harry Kane has scored twice. England and Croatia tied at 2 at halftime. Congo scored its first World Cup goal in the country's history in a 1-1 draw with Portugal. Scotty Scheffler will be favored heading into the U.S. Open, which tees off tomorrow. It's his 15th consecutive major as the pre-tournament favorite or co-favorite, plus 445 odds at DraftKings Sportsbook to win this weekend and complete the career Grand Slam. ESPN golf reporter Michael Collins.
Listen, I'll never bet against Scotty Scheffler, but I don't think he should be the favorite going into this week. I understand why he is, because he is Scotty Scheffler, and his record over the long term has been spectacular. But is he coming into this week playing better golf than some of the other top-name guys? No, absolutely not.
Michael Collins on Unsportsmanlike. Contract talks between the Jazz and restricted free agent center Walker Kessler have stalled. This despite Utah's 5-year, $140 million offer. Walker has proven to be one of the NBA's premier shot blockers and rebounders. Jazz has the right to match any offer that Kessler signs as an RFA.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Wednesday, Brian Windhorst dropped his top 6 storylines that already are shaping the NBA offseason. I'll tell you which one intrigues me the most. It's on Sportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
Let's rock!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Clay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Ross Jackson, bottom of this hour. Talk Saints minicamp. Baseball Tigers have added another portal pitcher. Get to that in a dozen minutes from right now. Lane Kiffin was a guest on Tyrann Mathieu's podcast, In the Bayou with Tyrann Mathieu. That dropped here on Wednesday. Interesting. One observation of Lane Kiffin, and this is not a criticism, it's just an observation. I don't think Lane has much desire to do any local media. And I remember all the years that we've gone to SEC football media days, and of course Lane has been the Ole Miss coach for the last 6, and some of, quite just very candidly, some of my best friends in media in the conference cover Ole Miss. Really we've had our buddy Chase Parham here, Neil McCready, Richard Cross from Super Talk Mississippi, people that I like very much as friends and have tremendous respect for professionally. And it's been interesting because now I get to experience what they observed over the years, which is that all those years of media days, Lane never came to Radio Row. And Richard, who also does sidelines, will do a lot for the Ole Miss Network, would kind of get whisked away and maybe get like 3 to 5 minutes with Lane in a private room, and then he was up about his day and it was gone. And it's pretty interesting because Lane kind of is a little bit of he's kind of an enigma in that respect because he's so public on social media, but he's such a private person, if that makes sense. Kind of a weird thing. So I don't think Lane does a lot of local media because I think in his impression is fans are going to think whatever they're going to think of him in the local market based on if he wins or loses. If he wins, they're going to love him. If he loses, they're going to hate him, and there's nothing he can say to change it. But nationally, I think he tries to create and craft and shift the narrative about him however he can. Remember last year about this time is when the documentary dropped, right? It was about Lane Kiffin sort of rehabbing his image. I think those things mean a lot. I think it's why he does the Vanity Fair piece. It's why he does the Barstool deal with, what was that show called? Pardon My Take? PMT, Pardon My Take?
Yeah, Pardon My Take.
I think it's why he does those things. So I think it's why he'll sit down with Tyron because he thinks that has a far wider ranging reach. Which, whatever, just an observation about how he goes about his things. But look, it's really cool to see Lane Kiffin sit down with Tyrann Mathieu. He's one of the greatest players in LSU football history. And Scalia, it's just so much love and admiration for Tyrann because of his continued love, admiration, support for LSU, despite the way it ended. LSU kicked him off the team. Now, it was his doing, but he still comes back and loves LSU. He's given money. I mean, there's like the building, there's rooms in the football ops that are named, like the locker room, whatever's named after Tyrann because of the money he gives. He's been awesome. Awesome. Great ambassador. Like everyone loves Tyrann's story, the great American comeback story. He was down and out, picked himself up, husband, father, family man, great NFL career, all pro, all that stuff. Awesome. And, Tyrann last week with the Sorsby stuff tweeted like, hey, man, can I get a judge in Louisiana, give the Honey Badger a couple more years of eligibility? And Lane Kiffin joked about that with him today.
Well, 30. I thought it was 33 because I looked it up when I seen these other players like keep getting, injunctions and they say they can play, if they have a year left and everything. I was like, what about Honey Badger?
Yeah.
But Wikipedia said 33. So, to gain a lot of tempo now. So we got to get you in some condition.
Got to get in some good shape.
We know the playmaking's there, the ability to cover. I don't worry about any of that. But the game's fast now with tempo. So we're going to have to get some cardio work in before you come back,
Wouldn't worry about that. I mean, 2011, of course, the entire offseason was spent getting ready for Oregon. That much I don't know what to worry about with Tyrann, but good joke there by Lane. Two newsworthy things that came out of this podcast. One was about the impact. This is Lane talking about the impact Ed Orgeron has already had on this program.
It's even better than I thought. Before, he's just recruiting for the place he's at and using all of his recruiting, skills. Now you feel it in here. We do these meetings with the kids and he talks about, especially to Louisiana kid, like it's in your DNA. At some point you wanted to play for LSU. You wanted to be a Tiger, but you feel in him because that was him. He talks about when he was 10 years old and he met the coach of LSU and he told his daddy, he's like, I'm going to LSU, no matter what. Yeah. So he had that in there. So like anything, if you recruit someone and you have the passion and you had their story, I mean, the parents, the kids are like, cool.
I do love that Lane, whenever he talks about Orgeron, he keeps saying daddy. In the PMT interview, he's talking about Mike the Tiger, and he said, Coach, I know the Tiger. I know his daddy. Because you can hear Orgeron saying that, which is great. You can tell those two have had a great relationship for a long time. And I think the interesting thing here in Lane say it there, I mean, we all saw the viral videos, right? But Lane sort of validating that with those comments is really interesting. The other thing that is super important, of course, is Sam Leavitt's health. In my opinion, there is literally no bigger storyline than Sam Leavitt's health, because my contention is if Leavitt's healthy and plays a full season, LSU can be a playoff team. I'm not predicting they will be. I'm saying they can be. If Leavitt is not healthy and you have to rely on the inexperience of Longstreet and Clark, then I think this is a 7-8 win team, and I think there's going to be a lot of really disappointed people. So you need Leavitt healthy. Here was Kiffin with the update.
He's doing well. He's been out there now and pretty much full strength now. Really good arm, really smart. I mean, he's in there just grinding all the time on stuff. NFL mindset quarterback from preparation standpoint. Now we just got to put everything together in year one. A little bit late because now he's just finally cleared now and a lot of new pieces around. So it's going to be a big summer and fall camp.
Saying he's cleared is a big deal. So big summer, fall camp. You miss the 15 practices of spring. You miss the timing, all of that stuff. Trey Green earlier this week in the interview with Jacques Doucet at his camp says he's out there throwing and catching with Sam Levitt every day and all the quarterbacks. But really, it's about Levitt getting those reps with the receivers, the pass catchers, the timing, the cadence, all the things they missed throughout spring. You got to make up that time now in June and July before fall camp so you're ready to roll. So you need Levitt to be healthy. Sounds like he is. We saw the video of him dunking on the goalpost in the indoor facility. Looks pretty good. Kiffin said at SEC spring meetings, the GPS had Levitt up to 21 miles an hour. Now he's saying he's cleared. All of that very, very positive moving forward for Sam Levitt and the LSU Tigers. But by the way, there was also another one about quarterbacks, and this is just sort of structurally and systematically. I think it's so interesting, too, whenever you think about the style of quarterback that Kiffin has. Tyron asked Lane, does he have to have a dual-threat quarterback?
Yeah, we don't need to run them very much, you know. They can be throwers, which we prefer throwers that can get out of trouble. Because the game comes down to so many times that the play is not in rhythm, the guy's not open, or someone comes free. What does the quarterback do on third down? And can he find a way to make that guy miss, like what we just talked about, Trinidad and the Sugar Bowl in Georgia, and guys are coming free. And it's like, we can do all this coaching, design, everything, but does the guy make the guy miss and make the play? And that's what we look for in a quarterback. That, yes, we want them to be elite throwers, but they got to be able to move around. Yeah. The old, at least for us, we don't want the old school, way back pro style, sit there and can't move around with the big arm. They just don't make enough plays for you out of rhythm.
Trinidad Chambliss was Ole Miss's second leading rusher a year ago. In 2024, Jackson Dart was Ole Miss's second leading rusher. In 2023, Jackson Dart was the third leading rusher, but had the second most rushing attempts. You take away the sack yardage, he would have been the second leading rusher. 2022, same thing, where you went Quinshon Judkins, Zach Evans, and then Jackson Dart. You can just look through the years, man, of Matt Corral in 2021, behind Ely and Connor. In 2020, Corral was the second leading rusher behind Jerrion Ely. Like, I got 6 years of evidence that shows you quarterback is going to run. It's going to be the second or third leading rusher on the team. So, yeah, they're not recruiting a statue. There's a style, a mold of quarterback they want, and he continues to show that over and over again. But they got into a lot about strategy and players today. But the thing that probably is the thing that every LSU fan wants to hear is cut 11 is Lane Kiffin effectively calling a shot?
I don't know how fast it's going to happen. We're going to win a national championship. We're going to have the teams and the rosters back to the way that they were playing when they were great. I don't know how fast. That might not be today, right? But it's going to happen, and I feel it in recruiting too. When these kids come in here, and now that we got our staff fully here, and we know how to sell LSU too, because now we're meeting up people and know the restaurants and the areas and the people. Like, it's 101.
Yeah.
What Nick Saban said. Yeah. It's the best job in America.
Lane Kiffin. It's the reason he's here, man. He's here to win a natty. Not telling you he's going to be here for a decade, 15 years, and maybe 5 years. But feels like he's got the resources and the systems in place to get it happen. It may not. He keeps hedging on this year. It may not be year one, but he believes it's going to happen. Wouldn't doubt him. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, where we remind you success starts long before Saturday nights in Tiger Stadium. In the offseason, in recovery, in the work that happens between games and seasons. Well, that's why Lane Kiffin and the players like Sam Levitt, Whit Weeks, Trey Green, Jordan Seaton, they trust FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, with their health care. That trust is backed by a health system that's growing, thriving, serving communities across Louisiana and Mississippi. More than 20,000 team members, $5 billion of network care, and not one but two exceptional workplace awards from Gallup. And as LSU's championship health partner, the Lake cares for the student athletes year-round. And that same expertise, trusted by LSU, is available to you and your family every single day. FMOL Health, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. Learn more at fmolhealth.org/LSU. fmolhealth.org/LSU. All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. We'll knock out a quick break. Ross Jackson in 15 minutes from right now. When we come back, baseball Tigers add another commit. We'll tell you about it next on AFR.
AFR.
My goodness, we're sitting here talking so much about NIL and great supporters of the Tigers and who's pushing forward with LSU athletics. Few have done it as well as Gordon McKernan. Get Gordon and get it done. You can always go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, getgordon.com. So many ways that Gordon McKernan gives back to the communities that he serves. Yes, more than $3 billion. $3 billion in judgments for his clients. Incredible when you think about that in totality. But also the great NIL deals he's done with members of the G team. The laptop giveaway around graduation. The bicycle giveaway for the less fortunate around the Christmas holidays. Gordon just did the gas card giveaway. The garage, the podcast studio Gordon built out that he lets anybody use. Just reserve the time. He's the best. It's Gordon McKernan. GetGordon.com, getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Parrish, we take pride in building roofs that last. Because in Louisiana, toughness isn't just on the court, it's in your home too.
Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute.
Want a metal shed in your backyard? Proform Steel can make that happen. Need a giant metal building for your business? Proform Steel can make that happen. Maybe it's at your industrial facility. You need a metal building? Proform Steel can make that happen. Brandon Golson and his team, they're the best. In-house architects, in-house engineers. Every single building, by the way, at Proform Steel, every single building. You buy a building from them, they deliver it for free. Doesn't matter. Small, large, meat, doesn't matter. You buy a building, they will deliver it for free. It's Proform Steel. Metal buildings, built right, from design to delivery. They're the best, and you can start that process getting your free quote right now at the website proformla.com, proformla.com, proformla.com for Proform Steel. Check them out online, proformla.com.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Well, Derek Curiel has very likely played his last game for the LSU Tigers. I don't think that's any great shock to anybody. But he's going to go on his way out to pro ball with another really cool honor. Rawlings has just, in the last half hour or so, announced the Division I Gold Glove Award winners, and Derek Curiel is among the outfielders who have been honored with a Rawlings Gold Glove. So Carson Tinney from Texas, the catcher. First baseman from UCLA. He'd do great on Will Wade's team.
He would do great on Will Wade's team, for sure. Will doesn't have any of the Samoans, though. Needs one.
Gavin Galler, the second baseman from North Carolina. Braden Jeffries, third baseman from Michigan. Colby Branch from Georgia, the shortstop. A little surprised not to see Milam there. Granted, I'm a homer, but Milam was he good this year. And then Curiel, Ty Het from NC State, and Hudson Miles from Lipscomb are your outfielders. And the pitcher, the pitching Golden Glove went to Nick Lewis of Washington State. So congrats to Derek Curiel, who wins Gold Glove, one of the 3 outfielders to win a Gold Glove in his sophomore season here at LSU, which is very likely his last. Because we're all anticipating Curiel will be a first-round draft pick, and he'll sign for somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 to $5 million and go start his pro career and hopefully not be long for the major leagues. But congrats to Derek Curiel, who's been named a Rawlings Gold Glover, a great honor for the All-American outfielder. Now we turn our page to what's next for LSU baseball. We've talked about Jay Johnson's portal class so far and the handful of additions, and man, they have really gone at the upper crust of the portal. It hasn't. People have asked, a year ago when LSU had the top portal class, what's the difference? We talked about this a year ago, how good their portal class was, and this team ended up 9-21 in conference play, which is absolutely true. And what they did a year ago, at the risk of oversimplifying, this year as opposed to last year, is they're going quality over quantity. It's not to say they didn't sign quality players, but the quantity a year ago was hedging their bet. When you go sign Trent Carraway and Dardar and Simpson, you effectively signed 3 of the same guys. 3 guys that had good power numbers, didn't necessarily hit for average, and were average to poor defensively. Well, if none of them popped with their power numbers, like none of them did, then you had 3 subpar defenders who couldn't hit at this level. And that's what you got stuck with, and that's why you ended up with a freshman in Jack Ruckert at second and a sophomore at third base in John Pearson hitting .250. And then obviously there was Zach York at first base, who was a giant liability, both literally and figuratively. So now you look at what they've added, and they've gone at the upper crust. Bino Waters is a day one starter at the corner outfield spot. Dawson Park will play third base on the left side of the infield. I had some people ask me, will Dawson Park play short and Milam move to second or third? No. The money that you're investing in Milam, and the reason he's coming back, he's not moving positions. Milam's going to be your shortstop for 56 games and however many you play in the postseason. And Cade Curlin's going to play second. Dawson Park's going to play third. But you've gone out there and you've added guys that are elite defenders who have proven they can hit for average, some for power, like Curlin, who's got a 17-homer season at 9 this past year. But even if they don't hit for power, you've got elite defenders who can hit for average, good bat-to-ball skills, all that stuff, which you haven't done yet really to this point is add pitching. Well, that's starting to change. They added Landon Hood from Gonzaga, who many consider the top right-hander in the portal, and now they've added their second pitcher in this portal class, and it's Diego Velasquez from Southern Cal. Interesting thing about Velasquez is he's a two-way guy. So he's a shortstop and a really elite-level shortstop coming out of high school. As a matter of fact, and Hunt noted this over at LouisianaSports.net, Velasquez was ranked the 5th best shortstop in California and the 15th overall player in his class when he signed with USC. So, high-level guy. Now, we only got 18 at-bats this year as a freshman at Southern Cal, and he hit 167. He was 3 for 18. That ain't great. But LSU's recruiting him as a pitcher. He's a right-handed pitcher, and some of the feedback I got today on Velasquez, they expect to have him for 2 years. This is not a one-year guy, and he's not draft eligible next year. So you're going to have him for 2 years, and they expect to have him for 2 years. He is expected to be a high leverage reliever in 2027, and then in line to be, if he progresses, a frontline starter in 2028. That's the expectation for Velasquez, for Diego Velasquez. High leverage reliever this year, opportunity to be a frontline starter in 28, because remember, there's a really good shot going into 28. You're going to lose Evans. You're going to lose Schmidt. Moore will be out of eligibility. So those three guys are all gone after 2027. So you're going to have a great opportunity. So you tell this guy, come in for 2 years. Leverage reliever, will develop you. Then you'll be starting in 2028, ship you off to pro ball after that. So I love that. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, 4.55 ERA, struck out 34 across his 13 appearances. Again, 29 and 2/3 innings with 34 strikeouts. So more than a strikeout per inning pitched. And this is a team that clearly needs to fortify its relievers, right? Devin Sheeran's off the pro ball. Santiago Garcia, very likely. The expectation is he signs. Gavin Guidry sat in the studio and said he's ready to start his pro career. Zach Cowan is out of eligibility. It's a lot of innings out of the bullpen that you're losing. Maverick Rizzi is transferred to Ole Miss. So you need relievers, because Jay Johnson has said it point blank. The improvement on this pitching staff is going to come with the guys already here and developing to their potential. Evans, Schmidt, Moore, Paz, Ricken, all those guys. You bring in Landon Hood from Gonzaga. We'll see if he's a reliever, if he competes to be in the rotation. Cooper Williams is back. I know they loved him a year ago. A lot of conversations I had with people in the program is they really hoped Williams would take a giant leap like Cade Anderson did and maybe earn a spot as a left-hander in the rotation. Maybe that happens this year for Cooper Williams. Either way, the point is they feel like among that group of a half dozen arms that I just mentioned, they got enough guys that they'll figure out their three-man rotation for the weekend. They're going to need arms that can give them length and leverage spots and get outs and leverage spots. And they feel like they got one here in Diego Velasquez, who'll give them that leverage reliever in 2027, potentially start in 2028. Now, I was also told LSU is going to use 2 more relievers next week. And a lefty and a righty. I am really, really, really interested to see what's going to happen with the portal from the left side. Because as of right now, you've got Cooper Williams, you've got Plog, you got Lockenmeyer coming back. That's 3. You'd love to have another one, maybe 2, but at least one more. And I think that's, as I understand it, that's the priority. And I don't have the name yet. If I get the name, I'll pass it along to you. But they are hosting a lefty next week. That is the priority. The righty that they're going to host is someone we've told you about already. Kid who spent this year in Louisiana, Thomas Allen from Louisiana Tech. Righty, mid-upper 90s. And this is a guy that a lot of big-time schools are going to be after. As I understand it, it's down to LSU, Ole Miss, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. And of those, Arkansas and Oklahoma are probably making the biggest push. So it's going to be a battle to try to get Allen to LSU, but that's a big power righty that they're trying to get down here, and it's going to cost to get him. I don't know necessarily that LSU is going to get outbid. I think, what Oklahoma is going to pitch is like, if you'll forgive the pun, but I do love a pun. What Oklahoma is going to pitch, unintentional, but I do love it, is Skip Johnson. Skip Johnson's a pitching guru. I mean, Clayton Kershaw has raved about Skip Johnson for years, and they are going to pitch his development at OU. LSU got work to do in that respect after what happened this season with that staff. Opportunity will be there. I think money will be there. See what they can do. They've got one in addition to Landon Hood. And as I told you, the objective was to add 2 or 3 relievers. They've got one now in Velasquez. They're going to host a couple of more next week, a lefty and a righty. They really want to get the lefty, the righty, Thomas Allen from Louisiana Tech. is another we're going to keep an eye on, but might be an OU lean at this point. So we'll keep you posted as that develops. All right, it's after further review. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Summer's here. See it every single year about this time. People go to the beach, they come back, and then on the Instagram, the gram, as the kids call it, there's those photos down on bended knee with the wind blowing in her hair. I don't have that problem. Maybe that long grass, up by the little wooden fence leading up to the resort or wherever you're staying in the background, blowing in the wind, or the ocean behind you with the beautiful sunset. Down on bended knee, popping the question. If you're thinking of popping the question, you need to go to Lee Michaels. They've been helping Louisianians get engaged for 4 decades. Thrill her with a gift in the red box. If it's engagement time, maybe you're celebrating an anniversary, graduation, or just because. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Beautiful jewelry, great selection, and always the Lee Michaels experience. I'm telling you, you go to many charity events, hard to go to any of them in this town without seeing that red box because Lee Michaels is so charitable. There's many ways they give back to the community. lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. All right, it's after further review. Halfway home here on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Thanks for hanging out with us. Lot to do still as we roll through the remainder of this show. Let me knock out a quick break. We'll come back a little late. Ross Jackson's going to join us when we come back from LouisianaSports.net. He was out at Saints mandatory minicamp today. We'll get his takeaways. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
You want to beautify your outdoor space, and let's be honest, who doesn't? Clegg's Nursery can help you do it. You want to find those beautiful flowers to add to your flower bed, your patio pots. We have, I told you, we just sort of redid our outdoor space. Erica just bought some new outdoor patio furniture, like in our outdoor kitchen area, and like couch, chairs, all that sort of stuff. And there's a circular coffee table, and she found this beautiful orange flower. I don't know what it is, but she found it at Clegg's. And it's all weather. It's thriving right there, even though it's under the patio for most. Just get some sunlight. We water it every day, but thriving. Beautiful centerpiece. If it's something like that, something simplistic like that, or things like dipldenias that or caladiums, you want to line your flower beds, your patio pots around your pool, your flower beds, your outdoor space. Clegg's has an awesome selection and the know-how to get you what you need. So get by any of the 4 Clegg's Nursery locations. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the offseason. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here. We eat out here. We watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Yeah, it has more to do with this being year 2. Flow, operation, a ton of installation last offseason with a new staff, obviously, and everyone teaming together. And so this year I felt like we're in a much better place and ready to get into an 11-on-11 setting.
Kellen Moore, after mandatory minicamp, talked about how much more 11-on-11 that they did this year as opposed to last year. Kind of makes sense. Install a year ago. Now it kind of hit the ground running a little bit more despite some new personnel. Russ Jackson was out there, LouisianaSports.net, Locked on Saints. He's with us now. Yo, man, how are you?
Hey, buddy, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Our pleasure. 11-on-11, more of it. What did you see?
A whole lot of it. Yeah, it's funny. They, they didn't really start doing any of that until they got to training camp last year. This year, they've kind of gone into it a little bit earlier. And it's been an evolution even still. When we came out here for the first OTAs, for instance, and rookie mini camps, they were just doing 7-on-7. And then all of a sudden, in the right smack dab in the middle of OTAs, all of a sudden, oh, there's a team drill. And then they started doing some team drills. And then now they've kind of gotten to the point where they're doing, they've done 2 team drills and a 7-on-7 drill over the course of the last little bit. So heavier workload. And yeah, the installment's a big part of it. But look, I also think that this is a head coach that's learned that, man, more work is better than less work. There were some short practices last year. There were some, practices to where they didn't have the team drills and things like that. So I do believe it is about the installation, but I also think that this is just an example of Kellen Moore evolving as a head coach and understanding that, hey, we should be doing more of this from a practical standpoint once they get the opportunity to do it. And so this is a good step forward versus what we saw last year at this time.
That's really interesting because that was one of the things last year that Kellen Moore maybe was commended on, was the fact that, like, the veterans really liked the short practices. It kept them fresh. Are we seeing a change there?
I don't know if we're going to see a change in terms of the full length of practices. I think that he wants everybody to have access to their recovery time and all those things still being a part of it. But I do think that there is a such thing as maybe more efficient use of that time and more efficient use of the practice. It might still be shorter and therefore allowing them time to get that recovery time. But there is, a world in which it's like, hey, now let's go earn the recovery time first and make sure that, the heavier workloads are in there. And they'll have days to where, they'll practice 3 days in a row, and that third day will be more of a walkthrough day or a lighter day and things like that. But I do think that there is a little bit maybe more of a demand for, implementation in a more practical nature sooner rather than later, and I think that's a positive step.
All right, Ross, give me a few takeaways, man, from the 2 days of mandatory minicamp. What stood out?
Yeah, I mean, the number one big thing, of course, was around Cam Jordan coming back, but beyond just actually signing the contract and all that, I think one of the things that you now see from this team is a really good established approach to leadership for a team that we thought might be without veteran leadership going into this 2025 or 2026 season, or at least have taken a considerable loss there. So that would be a big part of it. The second thing that I would say is that we watched the defense and offense go back and forth quite a bit over the course of OTAs and mandatory minicamp. Offense makes a play, defense makes a play, all that. Oftentimes when we're in this OTA minicamp phase, it's very offense forward. And I think we saw a little bit more of the more even match between both sides, which would be good things for the defense. But I'm very, very interested, and this would be the kind of third takeaway, very, very interested to see how that grows and changes with how versatile this offense is. I mean, they ran so many different personnel packages, so many different substitutions, players lining up at a bunch of different places, especially skill position guys like tight ends and wide receivers. I think the versatility and deployment of this offense in 2026 is going to be super interesting to watch.
At Ross Jackson NOLA is where you can follow him, LouisianaSports.net and Locked On Saints. Maybe if there was something, we'll get to Cam in a second here, Ross, but if there was something else newsy today, it was that the Saints announced 3 signings. Yeah, okay. Give me a takeaway there.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because you sign these players and then you go on break for a month. And so it's interesting timing in terms of doing that. But I think it shows how much they wanted these guys on the roster. They bring Hunter Deckers back, which we've been reporting over at LouisianaSports.net that was kind of like written on the walls for quite some time, basically since April. We've known that was eventually going to be the case post the UFL season. And so Hunter Deckers coming back makes sense, much like the Cam Jordan piece makes sense. Those two are returns. But the Jalen Moreno-Cooper signing from the UFL is an interesting one. And then the Tanner Brown signing from the UFL is also interesting. Jalen Moreno-Cooper kind of comes over as a 6-foot, 169-pound, very slight wide receiver that averaged over 40 yards per kick return in his handful of kick returns last year. So you can kind of already see the special teams avenue there for him, another potential returner being added to there. And, they lost Damian Alford due to injury last week. They ended up waiving him with an injury designation. So there's a wide receiver for wide receiver swap there. And then Mason Shipley, who was signed as an undrafted free agent coming out of Texas Longhorns, he ends up being waived, and then they bring in a guy that was 25 of 28 and perfect in the postseason for his UFL team in Tanner Brown. So good competition here now when it comes to kicker for Charlie Smith. Mason Shipley was a little shaky, barely took any kicks, if any kick at all, that we saw beyond 50 yards, but missed more than a handful of kicks in the very few times we got to see him kick. And so I think that, just the Saints had an option to be able to go with a guy that's kicked in, that kind of spring league format, and they wanted to bring somebody in to come and challenge and continue to push Charlie Smith. And Tanner Brown's a really intriguing option there with a really good leg. Hit a 63-yarder in the postseason for the UFL, or in the UFL just this last year.
Okay, maybe burying the lead a little bit, but Cam Jordan back. Reaction.
Yeah, I mean, this is the way it should have been. Cam Jordan belongs in the black and gold. He deserved an opportunity to come back for a 16th season and continue to further his Hall of Fame bid and to do it where it all started, which has always been his goal. Just like his dad, who played 13 years, tight end Steve Jordan with the Minnesota Vikings, he wanted to be a lifer with his organization. He said that over and over again. The Saints have not been shy about the fact that they wanted him back. They told him on the way into the offseason, basically like, hey, or I think it might have been a couple off seasons ago, Cam told the story yesterday, that he was basically told, hey, anytime that you always have a job here. You're always welcome here. And he went and he looked at other options, things like that over the course of the offseason, but eventually, gets led back here. It's on a 1-year deal. It's incentive heavy. We expect it'll be his final season. I think it's going to be one of the best stories in the NFL in 2026, watching that legacy continue to grow as he leaves behind eventually after this year something really special here in New Orleans. And so I think the Saints bringing him back makes them a better team, and I think it's the best situation for him. Just plainly put, I think the Saints are a better team with him on the roster than with him off the roster, and especially after not having a big swing at defensive end, whether it be in the draft or free agency this offseason, keeping the trio of him, Carl Granderson, and Chase Young together while the additions of Anthony Jennings and Tyree Wilson find their way. I think that's a really good core set of experienced edge rushers to go into the season with.
You had Chris Rumph to that mix, that's 6th.
Mm-hmm.
They're not keeping all those guys, Ross. Who do you think's the odd man out?
Yeah, I mean, look, Chris Rumph is a really valuable piece, even though he doesn't have a lot of contributions on his ledger on the defensive side. He's been a core special teamer for the team. He's got a long-standing relationship with Brandon Staley. But if you just look at the acquisition of all these players, Cam's got a job here. He was plainly told that. Chase Young and Carl Granderson aren't going anywhere. They sign Anthony Jennings and bring him in as one of the best run defenders in the NFL at his position. And then they make that trade for Tyree Wilson. I would dare say that it's a battle between Tyree Wilson and Chris Rumph to see who outlasts the situation there, right? Now, the difference becomes do they continue to look at all these players as stand-up edge rushers, or do any of them become hands in the dirt, quote-unquote, interior defensive ends? Think about the way that they used Brian Brzee last year, who didn't necessarily play a defensive tackle role, but who played a defensive tackle role, but more of a defensive end role, who lined up over offensive tackles. And so if any of those guys end up shifting inside, then that ends up maybe giving them an additional pathway to the roster, despite the number of edge rushers in it.
He's Ross Jackson, LouisianaSports.net, and Locked On Saints. Anything else from the 2-day mandatory minicamp we should be talking about before they head into a month-long siesta?
Yeah, I do think that one notable return, really it's been over the past 2 days, two notable returns with the two rookies from Georgia. Oscar Delp, who had the hamstring injury the second week of OTAs, was back and very involved in both days of OTAs. The way they continue to use this kid is really, really interesting, and the way that he moves around and the way that they utilize him out of a bunch of different spots. He's going to be super fun to watch all throughout training camp, preseason, going into the regular season as we expect his role to grow. And then today was a huge day for Christian Miller, who finally got an opportunity to get out there during the team drills. And so the defensive tackle out of Georgia, who was drafted in the second round, obviously a high investment there, a top 50 investment. And so finally getting him out on the field, and he looks good. He's fierce. He moves well. He's powerful, all that. That's going to be a player that can have a massive impact on this team's chase to continue to get better on the run side of the ball and defensive side. They finished there strong last year on run defense. I think they want to keep that going, and Christian Miller can be a big part of that.
All right, man, go chill for a month.
No.
Good.
We have so much more to do, Matt.
I know. You and I both know good and well. Of course, you can read him at LouisianaSports.net. Listen or watch over at Locked On Saints, always free. And, of course, at Ross Jackson Nola. You're the best. Thanks, man. We appreciate you.
Thank you, dude. You take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon.
All right, that is Ross Jackson. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints, Rouse's.com. Rouse's.com. Look at that. You know what we call that right there? That, my friends, is a tomahawk ribeye. That's beautiful. Look at that thing. Look at the marbling. I want it right now. I'm talking about Rouse's, of course. You go check out the Rouse's Facebook page. They got photos from their butcher section, and that I don't know which butcher that is. I can read his name tag. It says Taylor. I can't read the last name. Doesn't matter. But Taylor chopped him up a beautiful tomahawk ribeye over at Rouse's. Man, you want a tomahawk ribeye? You want some ground meat for burgers? My goodness, over at Rouse's, their butcher in-house, serving it up. Awesome every single day. Father's Day's here. Maybe you want desserts. Maybe you want bourbons. Maybe you want kebabs. Whatever it is, sausage to throw on the grill. Great gifts for Dad or anything you're looking for this weekend to celebrate Dad. Make sure you get it at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Rouse's.com, 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 Rouse's. This feels like home. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros. We'll wrap up hour number 2 when we come back. Trey Segarra, LSU running back commit, will be with us in 14 minutes from right now. Looking forward to that conversation. Don't you move. It's AFR.
AFR.
This is a first world problem, okay, admittedly. First world problem. But one of the most annoying, frustrating things imaginable is when you type in a web address and then you just see the little spinning wheel. And, you need to go. And it's just dragging. And I got an idea to be done with that forever. Home or office. Rev Fiber. REV. RevFiber.com. 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 Check it out. I practice what I preach. Erica and I, we are Rev customers at the Moscona household. Parish Construction and Roofing. Guarantee Media. We're Rev customers. Highly recommend you give Rev a call. Okay? Home, office, high-speed internet, automation, security, phone. They do it all. Do it better than anyone. RevFiber.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. One love.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
I'm Billy Schmidt, and I've been with First American Bank for 13 years. I have a passion of getting to know customers, getting to know their journeys, getting to know their stories, and being a small part of that, and just continuing that, and taking those relationships and expanding out into the community, just to make First American a household name. And people look at us and say, hey, what's special about you guys? You're part of a family.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Wrapping up hour number 2. LSU running back commit Trey Segarra. Be here in about 10 minutes. Right now, Mutsu. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
First save of the season for former Tiger Jaden Hill. We were talking the other day about, no. Asheville or Ashdown, Arkansas. Nope. Yep, that's where he came from. I looked it up. Couldn't remember. Once I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Shutout inning. Perfect inning, as a matter of fact. No hits, nobody reached. And his first save of the year, that was against the Cubbies. Alex Bregman in that ball game. Nope. Alex Bregman in that ball game. 0 for 3, 2 punch-outs. He did walk twice, however, but the Rockies got the win 5-2. Josh Smith. There we go. Yep. Of course, his first start in 6 weeks for the Texas Rangers last night. Went 1 for 4 in the ball game. It was a single for Smith. Played second and third base again, working his way back in after an injury and a bout with viral meningitis. But good to see him back out on the field. Dylan Cruz saw his modest his modest 5-game hit streak come to an end on Tuesday night, but little matinee baseball in the Capitol here earlier today, and Cruz bouncing back 1 for 4, drove in a run as well, his 14th of the year. His hit was a single. Alex Lang on the other side. No. On the other side for the Kansas City Royals. Pitched a shutout inning of relief to close out the ball game. Identical line to Jaden Hill. Nobody reached, and it was great for Lang. To minor league baseball, a couple things to note here. Cole Henry, perfect inning of relief in AAA in the Nats organization with a strikeout. And how about Javen Coleman? His first save. No. His first save of the year at the AA level. Pitched an inning, did not allow a run. Struck out 2, 3.65 ERA so far. He's on the same team as Cade Doty, the New Hampshire Fisher Cats. That is Tigers and Pros. Doty went 0 for 4, by the way, with a punch out.
Right about Evermore. EVAMOR. Evermore.com. Evermore.com. Shout out. Keep shouting out the great people. Oh, there it is. Sorry. LSU got another commitment. Third of the day. Forgive me. That's why I'm trying to get this. Evermore, the kid who just committed to LSU, clearly an Evermore drinker. You fly through Dallas, shout out to Dallas Love Field. They got Evermore throughout that airport. Still waiting. Hey, BTR, MSY, what's your problem? Get Evermore in your airport, you dorks. I'm just kidding. I love you. You're great. Great at what you do. But drink Evermore and carry it. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Okay, LSU breaking news. LSU has another commitment. His name is Isaiah Whitehead. His brother committed earlier today for 2027. This guy's an offensive lineman for 2028. All right, we got a lot to do. AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com, parrishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parrish Construction and Roofing, and take advantage of the Louisiana Department of Insurance right now, opening up their window for 3,000 Louisiana homeowners to receive a grant up to $10,000 to install a fortified roof. If you go to parrishbuilt.com, 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 right at the top of the homepage, there's this blue bar right there, if you're watching. That blue bar will take you directly to the LDI portal. And this is not a Parrish promotion. This is the Louisiana Department of Insurance. We at Parrish happen to be a certified fortified roofing company. So when you go apply for the grant, you can choose your contractors. We'd love it if you'd pick Parrish. We're on the list. But do business with someone you know. Repairs, replacements, all that good stuff. Gutter soft wash, parrishbuilt.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the new 2025 Ram 1500 truck with $18,000 off MSRP plus 3.9% financing for 60 months. $18,000 off plus the 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the offseason. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
The experts at Hood Dental Care want you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. A $376 value. With over 3,000 five-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care. Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And we always have other great giveaways for new patients. Check out hooddentalcare.com and schedule your appointment today.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. At the World Cup, England's gotten 2 goals from Harry Kane, leads Croatia 4-2 in the 93rd minute. Despite a 75% possession and controlling most of its match, Portugal could only manage a 1-1 draw with Congo. With NBA free agency tipping off in 2 weeks, the Warriors are keeping a close eye on the LeBron James situation. If he doesn't wind up staying with the Lakers, Golden State remains interested and is ready to explore bringing him in, reports ESPN Warriors reporter Anthony Slater.
The Warriors are very open to it, and their motivations are simple. They need talent. They're soft on the wing right now with Jimmy Butler rehabbing a knee injury, Moses Moody rehabbing a knee injury. They have a recruitment of Steph Curry and Draymond Green are very friendly with LeBron. He played under Steve Kerr in the Olympics, so that is the pitch.
The Warriors can offer LeBron the full $15.1 million non-payer mid-level exception, which would be a major pay cut. The USGA, RNA, along with the PGA Tour and DP World Tour announced they've delayed the implementation of a new rule that would reduce the distance golf's longest hitters can achieve to 2030.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Raising Cane studio.
That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Goodwood and Sexual Wellness. I'm Matt.
Hey, Will. Hey, bud.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Muso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there, make it a good one. It's 5 o'clock. It's quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. Man, what a day. Tigers have popped 3 commits today alone after landing 2 commits on Monday, 1 commit on Tuesday. I ain't good at math, but that's 6 in about a 48-hour period. Absolutely incredible for Lane Kiffin and the staff. Among them is 4-star running back Trey Segarra out of South Carolina, who's good enough to hang out with us for a couple of minutes. Trey, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for the time. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you guys for having me.
Man, it's our pleasure. Hey, do you go by David or Trey?
So my legal name is David, but most people call me Trey.
All right,
I'm the third David in my family. So.
Love it. So you're good. We call you Trey.
Yes, sir.
Love it. All right, man. Hey, let us know. Why'd you pick LSU?
It was really just about the people. You know, Coach Kevin Smith, he ended up coming to my house when I first got to know him. And then when I got to the OV and got to really see, who he is around his players and how the people, interact with him in the building, it kind of felt like it's something similar to what we have at Burns. And Baton Rouge is actually similar to Charleston, which is in my family, where my mom grew up, and so I spent a lot of time down there, and it kind of had that home feeling. And when I went there and got to meet the people, that kind of solidified it.
By the way, you mentioned being in South Carolina. How much of a pull, or was there a pull to stay home and go to South Carolina or Clemson?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was always there. My parents ended up going to South Carolina, so early in my recruitment, they were kind of up there, but obviously things change, and at the end of the day, I felt like LSU was the best opportunity for me.
Trey Segarra is our guest. I love that you mentioned Kevin Smith. And look, obviously Coach Smith is new around here. I've gotten to know him a little bit. Really intense guy and super genuine. I'm curious what your impressions have been of getting to know Coach Smith in sort of a short amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a family guy. He has a beautiful family, and he's well respected around the program and around the facility. So, you can tell by just little things like that he's a great person, and I'm excited to get to work with him.
Did he show you his highlight tape?
No, he didn't show me the tape, but I know about his accolades.
No, so Trey, one of the things like some of the guys on the team this year told us is like the first day he brought him in there in the room and put on his highlight tape to be like you will listen, like this is what you're trying to do. Which, I mean, that's a hell of a flex, right? I mean, you walk in day
crazy.
one.
That's wild. Yeah, no, he was one of the ones that.
Trey Segarra is our guest. Hey, tell me about your interactions with Lane Kiffin. What was that like?
Yeah, he's a really he's an upfront guy. What you see is what you get with Lane Kiffin, and I can really appreciate that in today's college football. So that's something that really stood out to me.
Is it one? It's so interesting, Trey, because we're all learning, right? I mean, Lane and the staff and everyone, they're still new around here, so we're still learning how they do things. So you said he's real genuine. Like, how much of the whole recruitment, how much of it is when you sit down, it's here's how we see you on the field, like here's the NIL piece of it, here's the family component of it. Like, how do they break all that down whenever you're on your OV?
Yeah, so it's a little separated. There'll be some fun, and then obviously there'll be some business and some serious talks that you'll have to have. But, with LSU, those talks kind of felt a little more relaxed than they had with my other couple official visits. There wasn't a lot of pressure, and when I made the decision, I felt like it could really be mine and not something I made under pressure or in emotion.
Hey, was your OV, Trey Segarra is our guest, was your OV your first time ever to Baton Rouge?
Yeah, that was my first time ever.
Okay, man. Give me some impressions. What did you think of BR?
I mean, well, I have to be honest, the first thing that hit me was the humidity. I thought I would be immune from being from South Carolina, but it's a little bit different down there.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the campus is beautiful. It's a great place. It looks like a great place to go to school. Obviously, I said the people were really nice. The food was great. Oh, my God, the food was great.
What'd you eat?
But we had this crawfish dip. It was so good. I was cool at the time, so I don't think I really got to enjoy it how I wanted to, but it was great.
Oh, love it, man. That's so good. Got a couple more for you, man. It's so interesting because they went and signed 4 running backs in the portal, and now they got 3 in this high school class. What did they tell you about the numbers at running back and sort of the expectation there?
Yeah, I mean, so you never know, especially today in college football, what your room is going to look like next year. And so I think this kind of a precautionary thing where I'm one of those guys who commit to everything and stuff like that. So none of that's really worried about me. I was just trying to find a place where I would fit best with the people.
Do you have an expectation? I mean, look, Trey, you're a top 150 overall guy in the country. I mean, like you're a dude, right? I mean, we all understand that. Do you have the expectation of like, I'm going to come in and play right away? Or is it a thing where, you're going to come in and you work, earn your spot, and maybe sort of grow and develop there?
Yeah, so the goal is always to play. However that comes with us, getting snaps or getting reps and special teams. To get on the field is obviously the ultimate goal. But I think that I'm a guy who can come in and make an impact there.
What do you like about the offense?
It's really high tempo, and there's a lot of variety in the run game. So, you can put all the things on tape that you need to put on tape to get to the next level, but at the same time, you can be really competitive at the college level too.
Man, did you ever think that you'd be playing at LSU throughout your process?
Not until later.
Yeah,
not until really late, because before Kiffin and until Swing got there, they weren't really a part of my life. The recruiting it's an interesting thing. I've been getting into this year.
Well, man,
my freshman year, so I've seen a good amount of crazy things happen here. It was crazy to see that made such a huge impact on me so late in my process. But I prayed about it, and at the end of the day, I'm confident I made the right decision.
He is Trey Segarra, running back out of South Carolina, committed to LSU, part of a ballooning class right now. And a lot of people here are excited about it, man. Congrats on your decision. Hey, man, have a great senior year. I'm sure we'll catch up with you down the line, man. Thank you for the time today.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's our pleasure. Trey Segarra. Guy said he had some crawfish apps. How about that? I'll tell you this much. There ain't no cake in that crab cake. I know that much. That's a fact.
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit of cake.
You can't have cake in your crab.
How can you do it? You can't.
No.
It's not a thing. I love that he said the goal is always to play right away. But even if it's special teams, how you can make an impact. And it's one of the things I get, like, I don't know that he was going to say, exactly what the plan was, what they told him, all that stuff. And I'm sure it's, hey, come and work and earn your opportunity. But the thing for me that's so interesting about this running back room, right now we've talked about it, I'm not telling you or him anything I haven't said here, which is you've got Barry and Durham back this year. You added 4 in the portal. That's 6. Now they've signed 3, or they've got 3 commitments from backs in this class. They ain't carrying 9 scholarship running backs in 2027. So you got these 3 freshmen coming in, and 2 of them, in Segarra and Martin, who committed today, Trey Martin from Winsboro, are like top 150 guys, like elite level dudes. And we've talked about it a ton here, man. They're not, you don't even have to take my word for it. Lane has said it. They're not spending money on dudes from high school to come and sit. If they're going to spend money on a high school player, it's going to be a multi-year deal or they're playing immediately. And I think that's a dude that, we talked about him a day ago, man, but 5'11", 210 pounds going into his senior year. I mean, it's real to think, he's 220 by the time he steps on the field week 1 against Houston in 2027 and probably is going to be a guy that gets snaps. So profile's really good, man. I like it. Like it a lot. All right, it's After Further Review. Glad you're aboard with us here. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades. Relief Windows. ReliefWindows.com. Relief Windows is one of the few companies, quite literally, in America, one of the few contractors that will not take a down payment. I mean, think about that. And they got to order the windows. They got to pay the wholesaler. They got to pay the window company that's sending the supplier. Well, they're not taking your money to go buy that. They're fronting that money. They're never taking $1 from you until they're done and you're thrilled. It's Relief Windows. Just the way they do it. Measure twice, install once. Every window custom, the exact specification of your home. Prevent those costly air leaks. Lower your energy bills. Increase the beauty, interior and exterior. Increase your home's resale value. Make an investment into your biggest investment, your home, with Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, shutters, and shades, and always exceptional customer service. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. All right, y'all, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Let me knock out a quick break. Let me react to when we come back because this is developing. I wanted to dive back into what a few things Lane Kiffin had to say to Tyrann Mathieu on the In the Bayou podcast. But right as we were going to the top of the hour, LSU got another commitment, the third of the day, this time a 2028 offensive lineman. We'll get into that, get you some immediate reaction next on AFR.
After Further Review.
Hump Day shows are brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. ED treatment, hormone replacement therapy, peptides. We talk about it every single day here. Man, it's about feeling your best. You know, ED treatment, sure. If you've got ED, like, deal with it. Get it taken care of. Goodwood can help. But that's only a small part of their business. Hormone replacement therapy is all about changing the way you feel. I'm so glad that over the last decade, the narrative around HRT has changed, and people have started to realize the incredible health and wellness benefits of having healthy hormone levels. There's so many studies done that actually suggest that healthy hormone levels decrease the risk of prostate cancer. You don't have 20-year-olds with prostate cancer, do you? Well, maybe a healthy testosterone level contributes to that. A lot of research shows it. Learn more. Feel your best. YourGoodWood.com. Check them out online. YourGoodWood.com.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
People think it's all about game day, but the real work happens in the offseason. And we need a healthcare team that works as hard as we do.
At FML Health, our lay of the lake, we take care of LSU football year-round.
We trust the lake.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. Look, back pain can sideline you from the thing.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit YourGoodWood.com.
Thanks again to Trey Segarra. Just joined us there at the top of the hour. LSU running back commit. My goodness, what a flurry. If you're not scoring at home, the Tigers popped 2 offensive linemen on Monday, running back Trey Segarra on Tuesday, and now today, 3 commits here on Wednesday. It started with running back Trey Martin out of Franklin Parish in Winsboro. 5-star edge Chris Whitehead committed to LSU just about an hour or so before we came on the air. And now, entering the 5 o'clock hour, just about 20 minutes ago or so, Chris Whitehead's brother, Isaiah Whitehead, who is an offensive lineman for the class of 2020 28 has committed to the Tigers. So remember, when we talk about a 2028 prospect, this is a guy who's entering his high school junior season. Okay, so you got a ways to go before Isaiah Whitehead gets to campus, but it's notable because his brother has now committed for 2027. So obviously, if they want to play together and you're talking about high-profile guys, cool. There's probably more of a possibility of this commitment sticking, although you got a long way to go. All right, Isaiah Whitehead, his bio, the profile here, he's a 3-star, 6'4", 325. Let me say this again with context. He's in the summer before his high school junior season. 6'4", 325. Does he profile as a tackle, a guard? I don't know. Early in the process, when you look, ESPN doesn't even have a ranking yet for 2028. So the composite is just Rivals and 24/7, both who have him among the top 40 offensive tackles in the country. So like we've talked about over and over again with this offensive or with this recruiting class and the way the staff is going about it, you're going to look at this dichotomy where you're going to have high-level guys like Isaiah Whitehead's brother Chris, who's a 5-star edge, who you'll pay for him because you're expecting him to contribute. And then you've got more project guys that they love the ball of clay that they can take and mold into someone who's going to come, stay, wait, and eventually be an impact guy. And I think you're just seeing this over and over again with every commitment they take in this class or in any class here at LSU, 27, 28 under Lane Kiffin as they're building it. Even look at the class they signed here recently. You had Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson and your elite level top tier guys. Well, you also had guys like Ryan Moret, who sat in the studio, who's a 3-star center, who was committed out of Miami, who was committed to Ole Miss, sat in the studio and knows he's coming to wait and develop behind Braylon Moore, and is a high profile, high ceiling guy at that position who knows he's coming here to develop. He's not expecting to play right away. I mean, look at what they have committed right now. Ahmad Hudson, 5-star. Chris Whitehead, 5-star. KJ Green, 5-star. You got your quarterback in Peyton Houston. You got Terrence Smith in the mix as well, who committed a couple days ago. Trey Segarra is a high 4-star running back. Trey Martin's a high 4-star running back. Braylon Calais a top 200 prospect. Amari Stevens, Cade Cooper, Brendan Lacey, Amaze Siale, Marquez Davis, guys that are project guys that you know are going to take a little time to learn and grow and develop. So interesting how they're building all of this out. But Isaiah Whitehead, the first commitment for LSU's 2028 class, just hours after his brother committed for 2027. All right, it's after further review. We are brought to you by First South Farm Credit. I'm going to dive back into the Lane Kiffin conversation with Tyrann Mathieu because one of the really interesting things that Kiffin and Tyrann talked about was the money. And if money has changed the players. You're going to hear that in just a second. But remember, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Thinking of buying land, your first option should be First South Farm Credit. They've been first in agriculture for more than 100 years, first in recreational property. Coming off a hunting season as we're in the summer now. You're looking ahead to this fall. We're going to be in deer season before you know it, duck season. If you want to be hunting on your own property, get that process started today with First South Farm Credit. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com, FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. Maybe coming off a tax season, you realize in 2026 you're going to need some write-offs. Well, owning land, you'll incur expenses. Could be a great option for you. Talk to your CPA about buying land. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. FirstSouthFarmCredit.com. So Lane Kiffin was on Tyrann Mathieu's podcast in the Bayou, and they covered a lot of ground. We talked about it earlier in the show. Go check out the podcast. Highly recommend it. But one of the things that Tyrann asked was about the money, and if money has changed these players.
You need to evaluate, can the kid handle money? Because you've seen this.
Yes.
In the NFL, all of a sudden they get money in the first round pick that they can't handle everything that goes with that. They're not mature enough, and then they're sidetracked and they're not focused. Yeah. Well, now you got to figure out, can a 17-year-old handle money the way NIL set up now, and are they still going to have the drive that we want them to have? I love that they make money. I do think it's got a little bit out of whack, because my concern is this. If kids nowadays, just like kind of the rich kid syndrome, the kid that has everything, if kids nowadays at 17 get all this, and they got the cars, and they got the money, and they're in houses. I mean, these kids now are in the houses that the coaches are in, neighborhoods,
right?
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good in some ways, but does that lessen their drive? It's like, now I got what part I was chasing for, because some people chase the NFL for like that drive, that competitiveness to be the best, and some chase it for the money and what it brings. Well, if they're already getting that, I don't know that that's all good.
You know what I thought about? I thought about two things when I heard that soundbite. One, I'll reference Mike Detillier again. One, it's something Mike D said forever. One thing you never know in the NFL draft is how money will change someone. I mean, they could be a dog. They could be grinding. All of a sudden, man, your draft pick, that 7-8 figure signing bonus hits your bank account. Is the drive there like it once was? Or do you take your foot off the gas? That's something that it's impossible to know until it happens, but it's why you evaluate it. Lane's got an NFL background. I think that helps in that regard as you're evaluating sort of the character of the guy. I also was reminded, like, there was an interview, I'll give you an analogy from a different sport. Conor McGregor became the most viral phenom in MMA. He's not the greatest MMA fighter ever. Like so many in that sport, as it continues to evolve, men and women who have their moment end up getting outclassed by a younger group of fighters that just become more versatile, more dangerous, and better. And Conor had his moment, and then Khabib came along. And this isn't an MMA segment, but the point is, like, Conor's been out of the game for 5 years. He's going to fight again coming up this summer, and he's going to get his ass kicked. But one of the things early in Conor McGregor's career, I remember watching an interview with him, and this is when he was a dog, like a poor dude from Ireland who fighting was his way out and up. And he has made it, right? But one of the things that Conor said, I need to go find this interview, is that whenever he would get paid, like he'd fight in the UFC, he'd get paid, and then he would go spend all of his money. All of it. So he's broke again. He intentionally made himself, I wouldn't advise anybody to do this, but he would go spend all of his money to be broke again, to give him the drive to go fight again, to climb and make more money. So he'd go buy suits and cars and whatever and be broke, so he had to go fight again. Money, there's just such an interesting paradigm shift when money's involved, and that is happening now with these guys, and it's really hard to judge at that point. It's why Lane keeps talking about with his staff how important that is to evaluate character of all these guys and if money will change. And it's impossible to know if it will until it actually happens. And sort of they're walking through that right now. It's a really interesting conversation. He also talked a lot about recruiting in general and how they present themselves in recruiting.
We just are who we are. When kids come here, families come here, like, we are who we are. Like, you don't get this show on recruiting. I think a lot of places present themselves one way in recruiting, and then when you get there, you're like, dang, that's not what I saw. Like, the coaches acted this way, and then we got there and it's totally different. Now they're yelling at us. And so we just present who we are. I mean, it's pretty laid back, but it's like, hey, what you see is what you get. We have very low transfer rates of players that are playing, because when you come here, you're not going, dang, man, like, you're not calling your mom going, this ain't what they did on the recruiting weekend, man. This is totally, or they promised me this, but I didn't get this. So I tell our coaches all the time, don't make promises, man. Just tell them you're going to get a chance to play, compete, to start, but you're going to have to earn it, because otherwise you get in those promises and then the locker room starts going, well, he told me this, he told me that. We just are who we are.
I think it's pretty apparent the more you talk to the recruits as well that they hear the same thing. And one more, it's interesting because we just 20 minutes ago had Trey Segarra on the show, the 4-star running back commit. Trey Martin committed today, another running back. And I've referenced this several times because, that running back room has 6 scholarship players in it for 2026. And now they have 3 commits for 27. And all 6 of those guys, the 4 transfers Berry, and Durham all have eligibility beyond 26, meaning they could all be back for 2027. And I think, and we'll get this answer eventually, but they needed to remake that room, and so they went and did it with numbers, and they went into the portal and said, look, pay Harlem Berry. Caden went in the portal, decided to come back, but they went and added 4 guys, say, hey, come compete. Same thing you just said there. And I think they went through spring and realized, man, these guys probably aren't good enough to compete. Maybe they'll grow and develop, but you can't run that risk, so you got to go into this high school class and add numbers. And so they did. They've got 3 commits already. And so it's going to be a 1-for-1 swap. Like, there's 3 guys coming in. 3 guys are going to go out. At least 3 are going to go out. I'll be really fascinated to see what happens with Dylan Jones from Wisconsin, because it was very obvious watching him throughout spring that he stood out among those backs. Physically, he's bigger, strong runner between the tackles, knows all the blocking protection. Well, Tyron asked Lane Kiffin about an under-the-radar player. Who do you think he mentioned?
I think Dylan Jones, running back that came in from Wisconsin. Now, we haven't done tackling yet, and so there's still a lot into it, but really good feet and body control and really smooth runner. He was starting there and got hurt last year, and so not a big stat guy coming in, not much notoriety. We got a lot of portal guys that were highly ranked and all that. Yeah. We've got obviously the quarterback, the left tackles, an unbelievable player, and everybody knows about Trey Dez and Whit Weeks and TJ. So there's a lot of names they already know about, but I think Dylan has got a real chance.
It's saying it's in spring, man. And now they're saying it too. It's pretty obvious. Like, that was not an impressive group in spring. That guy stood out, and they've got a lot invested in Harlem Berry. I think Harlem has the huge upside potential, like Kewan Lacey. I'm not saying he's going to be a 1,500-yard rusher, but Lacey had 23 rushing attempts as a freshman at Missouri. He goes to Ole Miss as a sophomore. Boom. In this offense, 1,500 yards. I think that's the hope with Harlem. Not that he'll be an All-American. I mean, that'd be awesome. But that he'll be the guy. You're going to run your quarterback, and then Dylan Jones is the other guy. Both those guys could come back for 27, and I think you could bring this next crop behind them. I think is how it works out. We'll see. Good convo with Tyron and Lane Kiffin. You want to catch it, you can. YouTube, podcast, anywhere. It's In the Bayou podcast with Tyron Matthew with Lane Kiffin as the guest. All right, it's after further review. Jimmy will be here for Outer Locks in about 15 minutes. Stick around on AFR.
After further review.
GLO. GlowResources.com. GlowResources.com. Complete employer solutions. It's Glow Resources. GlowResources.com. If you're hiring, you need to find the right people. Well, you need Glow Resources. It's that simple. They're the best. Home base is here in Baton Rouge. They got offices in New Orleans. They got offices in Orlando and Miami and Texas and all over the place. But the bottom line is, if you're here in Louisiana, Glow Resources can help you maximize productivity by finding the right people. As good as we think we are at identifying and hiring, think of it this way. Glow Resources, their staff conducts about 50 interviews a day. A day. That's 15,000 interviews a year. I don't care how good you think you are at interviewing. You ain't doing that many interviews. They've got it perfected to find the right people for your business. GLO, GlowResources.com. Complete employer solutions.
At Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer, we know you deserve value when you purchase equipment. Right now, take advantage of the powerful 3025E tractor for just $297 a month with 0% financing for 72 months. Tractor packages with a trailer also available. Whether you're tackling land, property, or projects, get your job done. Don't wait. This offer ends June 30th, 2026. Some restrictions apply. Visit sunequip.com or stop by a Sunshine location today.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
As a business owner, you're always focused on how you can improve the bottom line. Well, when was the last time you shopped your insurance coverage? Insurance Network of Louisiana can help. If you're a business owner, let my friends at Insurance Network of Louisiana see if they can find you better coverage for less money. They always offer exceptional customer service and partner with only the best providers. So check them out online today at lainsurance.net.
If your office is experiencing performance issues like slow networks, jammed printers, or disappearing files, Advanced Office Systems may be right for you. With powerful IT solutions, print management, document imaging, and security systems, they help offices regain confidence naturally. Side effects may include uncontrollable efficiency, smoother workflows, and a sudden burst of office joy. Say goodbye to those emotional breakdowns in the supply closet and get back on track with Advanced Office Systems.
I've been in banking for over 35 years. I usually start about 7:30 in the morning.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
32 years ago. 32 years ago today. Oj, the Bronco chase. What's that?
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram this morning.
Oj. He's the worst.
Hey, Twitter. Oh, no, not Twitter. Hey, X World.
I totally forgot about it. Oh, my God.
I'm so glad I didn't delete that.
Hey, Twitter.
Hey, Twitter. Oh, no, not Twitter.
Oh,
hey,
man.
X World.
What do you think Oj is saying to the devil in hell today?
I know.
Oh, Twitter world is hot down here.
Oh, man. He's playing a really hot round of golf down there with the devil. They had a tea time.
Oj. Brutally savagely murder two people. Get away with it. Go to jail for stealing your memorabilia back. And then becoming a Twitter personality like nothing ever happened.
Don't forget about writing a book about getting away with it.
Here I am. Hey, Twitter world.
Hey, Twitter. Oh, no, not Twitter. Hey, X World.
Oh, man.
Oj. He's the worst. If he wasn't, the best way I ever heard, Jim Rome years ago said, if he wasn't the worst, he'd be the best.
Yeah.
Which is a great way to put it. He's the worst. Make no mistake about it. The absolute worst. But, I mean, the complete lack of awareness. Or maybe awareness, but like a give a damn, to go out there and play golf and then steal your memorabilia back, write a book about how you killed two people, but not own it, and then be on Twitter all the time.
Hey, Twitter. Oh, no, not Twitter. Hey, X World.
Oj. I'd say rip, but I don't mean it. 32 years ago. I remember watching the NBA Finals when that was the Rockets in the NBA Finals. Whenever the Bronco chase was going down. God, what a time. Ouch. All right. What was I going to do? There's two things I was going to do here. Oh, yeah. We'll do the World Cup thing in just a second. I found this interesting. Got odds that are out to make the 12-team playoff. And not to win the national championship, but to make the playoff. Notre Dame at 87% leads the way. And I guess it makes sense. I mean, especially with the new rules. Because if Notre Dame is in the top 12, they're in. The committee can't vote them out, right? So Notre Dame, 87%. Basically, go 10-2 against a crappy schedule you're in. Ohio State and Oregon, both at 76%. Miami just behind at 75%, and that makes sense because they're a prohibitive favorite to win the ACC, which is a crap league, and so they win the crap league they're in. Indiana, 75%. Notice no SEC schools yet, by the way. Until we get to Georgia and Texas, which are both at Georgia's at 70. I'm sorry, Texas 73%, Georgia 71%, Texas Tech 66%, and then LSU 43.48% to make the playoff. Third best odds among SEC teams. I think it's fascinating. Bama, A&M, Oklahoma, all sequentially following next. It's a pretty big gap, right? So LSU's at 43%, Bama, A&M at 40%, Oklahoma 36%, Ole Miss 35%. Tennessee's next among SEC schools at 25%. I mean, it's pretty encouraging, especially against this schedule, to have LSU with the 9th best odds and 3rd among SEC teams to make the college football playoff, which I think is the baseline expectation year one under Lane Kiffin. All right, brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, ShawBillsTire.com. Last week in this, we've been letting you hear from Danny Klein, who's he's the general manager over at the Burbank store. And, you know, I tell you all the time at Shawbills, they'll sell you name brand tires at wholesale prices and treat you like family because they're family owned and operated. And they value family. That's something Danny told me about with his family.
I got a wife, 2 kids. Son's 14, daughter be 13 in August. They go to Live Oak Junior High. Daughter's into a little bit of everything. My son's in band. Wife just recently got her master's, working to get her master's, just got her college degree. Live out in Watson.
Bunch of overachievers, man, and you love to see it. When you walk into Shawbills, you're talking to real people who live in our community, who have been in our community, who work hard to do right by you every single day. So you want an auto service spot you can trust, you want Shawbills. Shawbills Tire and Auto Service. Name brand tires at wholesale price, and they treat you like family at Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling. All right, Muse, give me some World Cup music. This is something we got to institute just because the more research that I do, the more numbers I get every single day. It's abundantly clear that people care here in the not only the States, but here locally about the World Cup. I'll watch when the U.S. is playing because, as we well know, how I feel about international competition is one thing I want. What is it?
To watch the United States whip foreigners.
And everything.
And everything.
Go, go, USA!
So, all right, Muse. When's the next time we get to watch the U.S. whip some foreigners? Well, we whipped those foreigners from Parisia.
No.
From Pearland.
Almost, but not.
Pacific Palisades.
No.
Nope.
That's in the United States.
Whatever.
It's Paraguay. And yes,
I think it's Paraguay.
It was 4-1.
You're so American.
Paraguay.
You're so not cultured.
Yeah,
Paraguay. Paraguay.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So the next time the United States is on the pitch, is Friday, this Friday, June 19th at 2 p.m. They're up in Seattle. They're going to take on Australia.
Austria.
Yeah, no,
G'day, mate.
Australia.
Let's put another shrimp on the barbie.
Those are the two teams. Both teams 1-0 in Group D. So it's a big, important game there for the countrymen, the United States of America.
Okay.
You want to know something about today's action?
I don't really care. It's your segment. You just
All
tell me what I
right,
need
let's
to
talk
know.
about today.
Hurry up.
4 games.
Here we go.
England, they topped Croatia 4-2.
The Croats.
Yeah, Taylor Calandro was watching that game. Harry Kane scored twice for the English. We had Portugal and the Congo. They tied.
Oh.
Yeah, they tied.
Shake it, Bobby, do that conga. Now you can
1-1.
Any longer. Shake it, Bobby, do that conga.
Congo with the equalizing goal in extra time in the first half, and no points scored in the second half. Ghana will play Panama at 6.
I'm sorry, did you say gonorrhea? What did you say?
Uzbekistan will play Colombia tonight at 9.
Colombia.
Yes.
Where are they playing that one? They're playing that at Memorial Stadium?
No, that one's in Mexico City.
Oh. All right.
Yesterday, Austria beat Jordan 3-1.
Jordan Kitchens?
No. The
Producer
country.
of Hunt Show?
The country.
They got a country called Jordan?
They do.
Jordan's got his own country? Or is that Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan bought a country?
Maybe. No, I don't think so.
I bet his net worth is bigger than some countries.
Jordan has a river, too.
Yeah.
Jordan.
Okay. That's all?
That's it. Yeah, slow day. Slow day on the pitch there, man. But the United States, they kick it back up again Friday, 2 p.m.
Oh.
Against Australia.
Go USA.
Go USA!
All right, Jimmy will be here for Outer Locks to wrap up the show next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by River City's 1 hour air, where they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001. 83 degrees. We're supposed to get aren't we supposed to get like a tropical storm tonight? I heard that. Quote me on it. Tropical storm or something like that. The weather's supposed to be bad tonight, parts of South Louisiana. But nonetheless, storm season's here, but that also means summer is here, which means every day it's going to be a bajillion degrees. Make sure you're taking care of your home central AC. Call River City's 1 hour air, preseason AC tune-up, 752-0001, 752-0001, 752-0001, or 1hourbr.com. You can spell it out. Remember, they'll come by, they'll take care of your AC, they'll get it tuned up, cleaned, running efficiently for the coming warm weather or the warm weather that's already here. And if you have an issue, they'll take great care of you working nights, holidays, and weekends. River City's 1 hour air, 752-0001.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience, or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Eagle 98.1, the rock station. Home of the Woody Show in the morning. Scotty Mack with Rock at Work. Michelle Southern with Southern Rock. Home of LSU sports since 1998. And rock for Baton Rouge since 1985. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. To join our VIP fan club, text ROCK to 225-499-9898. Eagle 98.1, the rock station.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, Our team of specialists are dedicated to getting
River Parish Contractors wants to talk to you. rpcontractors.com. rpcontractors.com. I'll say it again. rpcontractors.com. It's River Parish Contractors, y'all. They're looking for everything. Welders, tackers, fitters, crane operators, all of it. You want to work in the fab shop right there in Reserve, they want to talk to you. Want to work at the plants for the jobs inside the fence, they can help you there as well. It's River Parish Contractors. You got to call Big Jake, y'all. 318-547-1000, 318-547-1000, 318-547-1000. Remember, at River Parish Contractors, tons of overtime, day shift or night shift if you want to work when it's cooler, paid time off, great benefits, and you're home with your family every night for dinner. Not going to miss your kiddos' games. It's River Parish Contractors. Call Big Jake, 318-547-1000, River Parish Contractors.
After further review, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Yo, Otter, what up?
What's up, man? We live here at the Queen. Got some friends in town, man, watching some ball games. So watch the wind blowing out at Charles Schwab. So they scored 19 in the first one. We like the over in the second one. Wind still blowing out. Not quite as hard, but 15.5 is a total. It was earlier, so
15
right around
now.
15 flat. So Georgia and Oklahoma over. And I like the alternate line. I laddered it over here, Matt, and that's one good thing about DraftKings menu as well. There's alternate lines. A lot of places, and I checked, do not have alternate line betting available on their menu for the college baseball, including College World Series and tonight. But I got Georgia -2, and I wouldn't even mind doing a little ladder, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4. So if you are downtown at the Queen, yes, I went all the way up to -5. On the Bulldog.
Oh, my God.
I think it's going to get ugly
tonight.
Finally, the park is going to play closest to where their park plays in their 4 games in Omaha this year. And they are much better than Oklahoma, no doubt. All right, Toronto and Boston over 9.5. Max Scherzer, we've heard this before, 41 years old. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's got multiple Cy Youngs, but not what he's doing right now. It's in a delay, too. This was scheduled to start a little earlier. They haven't started yet. Over 9.5, Toronto and Boston. And then out on the coast, Kirby and Bradish. Seattle got the first game last night. Kind of a little payback for Seattle. They got swept at Baltimore. Back home, and they're looking to and they won a tough game last night. Big pitching advantage at home. Seattle -130 against the Orioles.
All right. So a couple of plays, the College World Series. We like the alt line, Georgia laying 2. We also like the over with Georgia and Oklahoma. It's 15 right now at DraftKings. And then in MLB, we like the over with the Blue Jays and the Red Sox and the Mariners on the money line. You can always get the plays for free over at LouisianaSports.net. Where are you tomorrow, Otter?
We're at the original walk-ons on Burbank, just off from Nicholson.
You got any plays on the World Cup tonight?
Panama on a draw against Ghana.
So we're picking a draw?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Went 4 for 4 the other day.
Well, thanks for sharing. Appreciate that.
No, I didn't have it. I'm saying the draws went 4 for 4. I'm not claiming that.
Okay.
No, but the 3-way. I mean, this is in the World Cup scoring is low. There are a lot of draws. So there was one earlier.
Wait, soccer
today.
scoring is low?
yeah.
What?
This is it. Look. That's what I'm here for, Matt. Just enlighten you. So.
Okay, well.
But you know what's funny? Most of the games have gone over. There's been a lot of overs. I mean, yesterday was, like the who's who in soccer. Holland from Norway had 2 goals. Mbappe from France had 2 goals. Messi with 3 goals.
I saw that. Hat trick.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of them have been going over. Talked to some of the bookmakers out in Las Vegas, including out in that Circa, and their crew has been betting a lot of unders. So, a lot of overs so far and a lot of draws in World Cup. So.
Yeah, you heard me say hat trick. I don't know if you caught that. Big soccer guy here. I know.
No. They call it a hat trick.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm a big soccer guy. If you need some soccer tips, you just let me know. Big soccer guy. I know all the lingo.
Okay. Yes. So, speaking of Telemundo does not break away for the hydration breaks like Fox. So.
Okay, good to know. Thank you,
That's what I'm here for. All right, good luck.
Otter's on a hydration break right now at the Queen. We're brought to you by Paris Restoration, parisrestoration.com. Kill mold, remove odor, tons of rain earlier today in the area and more coming tonight. Hey, look, if you have water intrusion, have mold, think you might, our friends at Paris Restoration can help. parisrestoration.com. Just punch it into your search engine on your phone, parisrestoration.com. Go to the homepage, fill out the form. They'll give you that free estimate as always. Jim Woodworth and the gang, they do a great job. They'll come by, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog treatment, close up all the doors. They'll let it dwell. Doors, windows, let it dwell. Kill everything down to the spores. As soon as the fog dissipates, you're back in. Do your home in half a day. Easy. You're at work, no biggie. They'll come in, they'll spray by the time you get home. It'll smell great, sanitize, clean, everything. Parisrestoration.com. 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 All right, y'all. It's just about going to do it for us here, man. Really good show today. We appreciate you for hanging out with us on this Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Thanks to Trey Segarra, LSU running back commit, was here earlier this hour. Ross Jackson last hour. Tigers got, count them, 1, 2, 3 commits today. If you want all the info on all that, Saints wrapping up their mandatory minicamp before they take a month-long hiatus. Reacting to Lane Kiffin, sit down with Tyrann Mathieu. Got tons of stuff today. Catch it all on demand. AFR on demand, presented by Brett Golf. All right, it's going to do it for us here. We're going to get on out of here. Muse Pauly, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 on AFR.
AFR.
You want to see 2020? Do what Jimmy Ott did. Go see Dr. Blake Williamson. Not just Jimmy Ott, but quite literally thousands of your friends and neighbors, me included. Call Dr. Blake Williamson over at the Williamson Eye Center. 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020. You want to see 2020, call the Williamson Eye Center at 924-2020. Remember, they have financing options available, interest-free for 24 months. Don't let ability to pay or what you think might be a cost inhibitor be something that prevents you from changing your life. Call Dr. Blake Williamson. Go for the consultation at the Williamson Eye Center. Maybe you were told you're not a candidate for LASIK. Cool. Evo ICL, PRK, custom lens replacement. There's so many options in refractive surgeries today that can help you see 2020. Call the Williamson Eye Center.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Bayou Ford is taking $12,000 off MSRP on the new 2026 Ford F-150 trucks, plus the complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Box combo for George. I see you, Luis. Food's on the way.
Please don't. Hey, you know you can use your hands, right?
Got those box combos for you. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial. Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice. From local farms to your table, every grain is supreme. Pick up a bag of Jasmine or any other of our Supreme